This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's the show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
I need to turn the mics up before I turn them on. That helps a lot. Hi, everybody. Welcome. It's the show. It's Q Talk America. 7 o'clock coming to you from the lovely Studio C in the heart of downtown Phoenix, Arizona, where fortunately about everybody that came to town for the Super Bowl has left.
Oh, praise the Lord.
Oh, try that one. Try that, Kat.
Let me try that now. Oh,
Yes.
Hi.
Oh, I'm just glad to have our streets back to us. I mean, like, can we return to the normal chaos that is Phoenix?
You know, it was a really fun weekend, though.
It was a good weekend, but I purposely avoided anything downtown because I just heard it was insane and traffic was blocked up in every flipping direction, and I was like, nope, no, thank you.
I was out in the middle of all of it. I was driving Uber all weekend, so I was
Did you have a
picking
good
up and
weekend?
dropping them off. Yeah, I had a great weekend. Yeah,
Really?
really
I meant
well, yeah.
money-wise.
Oh, sure, yeah, I made some of that too.
Okay.
And
So that's all I care about.
did you actually have to go to the stadium at any point?
You know what? I actually only ended up making one trip out to the stadium over the weekend, which is okay.
Wow,
Yeah, that's enough.
Yeah, no, right.
That's way
that
too
worked.
fucking
It was
far away.
really
That-
far.
yeah, that's a long run. And where did that journey start from?
Scottsdale. Yeah.
Wow, that's a
like
really
like a mile
long
from
run.
my house. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
So it was good.
Cheesy Pete's. Well, here we are, off and running, show number 201. This is the 3rd of February, 2015. For those of you keeping score, now it may be the 4th of February, depending on where you live, and certainly if you're
It
on
might be the 7th if you're downloading.
Well, if you're downloading, it could be March for all we know. Who knows? Whenever you're listening to it, it's
Those
that
of you
day.
in the future.
Yeah.
Yes. Can we reach out to the people who have not yet found us? And if you have found us, thank you for doing so. In the chat room, my mom, Mama Di, of course, Drew, Aaron from LA, Missy Al, and Dr. Ben Carlson is with us.
Here I am.
This week, Katie June is out. She's got other important things to do. And I bet she gets paid just as much for those things as we all do for this show.
Yeah.
Just a guess. Not sure.
Wow, what
Just-
a lucky girl.
Oh, she is. And somewhere, if you're listening in your car, or you happen to see a little silver Subaru jettisoning across the valley of the sun,
You might want to pull over.
Marty, we're assuming Marty's en route, because we haven't heard that she's not. So we're gonna go with yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I feel like we've been chatting with Aaron and Drew all week. It's very nice.
It's
Welcome aboard.
Right there. Oh, I think it's funny that Aaron from the pre-air feed of video, he clocks in and sees that there's already Pop-Tarts on the table because Kat brought in
New flavors.
Oh.
Yeah. Look what we've got.
Oh no, it's a debut.
Frosted cinnamon roll.
Fuck me.
And I can't tell if I'm excited or scared. Chocolate strawberry. Yeah. Can't tell if I'm excited or scared. That's the
Yeah,
face I made too.
Yeah.
It's a burry to try.
Yeah.
Because now,
I'm going to keep an open mind.
I would, yes.
That's how I'm going to play this.
yeah,
Sure.
playing along at home, it's a limited edition.
Oh, an LE.
Yeah.
Got
Yeah.
it.
So this is a collector's item.
No, really, why? What is it? Just they're going to throw it out there to see, hey, can we sell this shit
Just
or
see
not?
how many people stand in the
Right.
aisle and make that face. There's probably a hidden camera. There we go.
And I did. Yeah, we went to the store
I
later
could,
this
just,
afternoon.
I could just see Al looking at it going, really?
Well, there probably wasn't real. It's naturally and artificially flavored.
Well, thank God.
Funny.
Both.
We don't want too much natural or
Is that
artificial.
two flavors in one?
Yeah, two.
So I have a feeling it will be either wonderful or super disgusting.
What was the one that I almost killed you all to get out of the house? Was that the peanut butter one? No, what was
No,
it?
what's the
Was
red?
it the peanut butter and jelly one?
I thought the red velvet you didn't like.
I didn't like that one.
Oh,
but
those were terrible. Yeah.
there was one really good one. I brought it.
Oh, no,
I brought it home, but I haven't eaten it yet. I have.
No,
I
you because
feel
you
like
lifted
it's the peanut butter
I
ones.
think you're right. Peanut butter chocolate or peanut butter something. Yeah, it was like.
Because the PB and J's are still here.
Well, those are
Yeah,
going.
but I only took one. I took one foil.
Oh, you took
and then the
ass
grape
sleeve?
ones. I'm just waiting for that very special moment, that very special someone to share
Sure.
a Pop-Tart with.
Oh, the
very
very
special
special
episode.
someone.
Yeah, it's probably going to be more like me eating two Pop-Tarts in front of
Right.
a very special someone, but it's still,
Does a mirror
very special.
Does a mirror count? Is that
Yes,
special?
yes,
Once
that-
that occurs, can we record like a special thing, like tonight on a very special episode of the show with Clayton McKee?
Tonight on NBC.
Alan Joyce's first grape Pop-Tart.
I think that's fun.
Yes.
We'll have
Well,
this-
you know, I do make the videos. Well, I haven't in a while, but I have a very special jacket that I wear for the videos I make from my living room. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're the ones from. We did all of them from P-Town the one year.
I forget the jacket you wore.
It's the zip up Eddie Bauer
jackets.
Oh,
plaid.
gotcha. Hi, Marn.
Do you want that door closed? Sorry.
Yeah, because you're it. You're it. You've wrapped it up, girl.
Until we hear Katie pounding on the wall, but
She'll
allegedly
call.
she's
She's
fighting
out.
for human rights,
Yes.
not gay rights.
No, just human.
Just human rights.
In general.
No.
Oh,
Which
Aaron likes
may
the
be
peanut butter and chocolate.
Mutually exclusive, as it turns out.
Yeah, could be.
Could be
Who knows?
different.
Edith,
Minty things.
what's an Edith?
Oh, who's Edith?
I don't know. Welcome to the show, Edith.
Hello, Edith. Now, if your middle name is Anne, Edith Ann,
Edith Ann. Where's that from?
Lily Tomlin,
Oh, right.
Edith Ann, welcome. And Edith, please share with us where you're calling or you're tuning in from, or that's the truth, exactly.
And then I think we need to. I say we have to get plane tickets and go to the United Arab Emirates and find our listener.
We're
somebody
gonna go quiz
They are
everyone
devoted.
in the Emirates.
again, if you're listening and you're in the United Arab Emirates or nearbouts, because I'm assuming this is correct. Please, you've been listening for over almost 3 hours already. So they
And
need
for
to-
years too.
they keep chiming in, but they just don't let us know. Got it. Me. Okay, I know it's me, but
All right.
who's me, Edith? Ty.
Ty.
Got it.
Hey.
It's difficult to keep up with all these aliases like Dr. Ben Carlson.
What? My name is literally in there, both my last name and then parenthetically my first name. How is that hard? Dr. Ben Carlson. Yeah, I didn't use yours. I used mine. We'll fix it later.
I see.
Yeah.
I see what you did.
I see what you did.
I see what you did
And
there.
Ryer, I never remember. But which name do you choose to use in the chat room?
I'm a little bit of everybody.
Well, I'm trying.
All rolled into one.
Well, which one would you like? Because I'm
I'm
red.
a bitch. I'm a tease. Oh my God, it's
I'm on my knees. Wow,
And
really?
so-
Holy cow!
Will you please put Meredith Brooks in there?
Yeah.
right?
And that'll be her official
Well, it's an
chat room
M,
name.
so
If you get on your knees, can I be excused?
because that's awkward.
I feel like that's awkward for me.
I
too.
feel like
Yeah,
I might have a
oddly, I
stomach
don't know.
virus.
I'm gonna go.
Can you show me on the Pop Tart where she got on her knees?
Then I enjoy my great Pop
I
Tart
was
and
simply
peace. Well,
singing a song.
Yes.
I'm packing my Girl Scout cookies and
Got
going
it.
home.
yeah.
I'm anything he calls me, really.
Well, I did.
That's what I said. I'm
I
like,
couldn't remember if
I
you
don't
go
know,
by
she
Marnie
seems to
or
change
Ryer or.
Usually I'll put Marn. Something
Marn.
like that. in there.
Marn.
Because what
there
we're
it
doing
is.
is we're
That's
registering.
your name. We had a debate.
Yeah.
We all lost.
Well, a lot of times.
All lost.
Well, that's what he'll usually say. Hey,
yeah.
Marn.
Hey, Marn.
So-
Yeah. So what we're doing? I'll explain to you what we're doing.
That does sound familiar. I feel like I've heard that phrase
Marn?
before.
Yeah.
Many
The hi,
times you
Marn.
don't use it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I know I
Otherwise,
did.
I'm Rye Dog, but
Yeah,
that's it.
right dog.
Right now. Hey,
Oh,
Dog.
what up?
Yes. All right.
I feel like that's not okay.
I feel like it's perfect.
It's totes okay.
Toads.
Totes okay.
I feel like that's not okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna write a little note for her.
I think he's gonna pass you a note in gym.
I feel like that's when a
I've
friend of mine
lost
said that we should get a gang of us together and go, have drinks. And I said, you know what? I do so love a gang of white women.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's get the whole gang together.
And everyone should be in yoga pants and talk about like.
Ooh.
Well, now that pumpkin
yeah.
spice is gone, what are we on now? What are white women enjoying now that
Skinny vanilla latte.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
No whip.
No whip. Oh, it's got to say no whip.
No
Now
whip.
the skinny vanilla latte does that involve skinny vodka?
I mean,
Just hoping.
If
come
you
on
wanted
down to
me to
Cobalt
like you,
and
it would.
can.
Yeah. If you wanted me to be friends with your yoga pants wearing ass.
Yes.
Yes.
Give that to Marn and
One
we'll
of us needs to
get
have
her to
vodka.
understand that.
So everyone should
That's for
have
the
vodka.
chat room. You'll use that name.
Okay.
And it'll force you to log in, and that's your password. And that's because
I like it.
It's a long story. I'll
It's a
explain
long
later.
story, and I
Yes.
like it.
Yes.
Good.
Sorry, what's dinging?
Oh,
It's
this,
not me.
And I thought it was all turned off.
Oh, I thought something was done in the oven. I'm like, I didn't
Sorry.
even.
I didn't know we were cooking.
I redid the.
My
the
baby's
updates.
done.
I've not redid.
3
I did
years
the update,
later.
Yeah.
That 8.1.3 blah 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 blah, and I have zero idea. Things are making noise that I've never heard. I don't know.
Oh, you did the iOS update, you mean? Yes, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Mine did not come with any funny noises.
Mine
Well,
didn't either.
I have all of mine hooked together, and they all.
Did you check the funny noises box when you did the update?
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
see,
It's an
there it
option.
is.
I
There it
mean,
is.
like
It's an
that.
option.
As far as
I decline
off,
your
I
funny
thought.
noise option.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
And I raised you a do not disturb.
Sir or ma'am.
I know. I have a friend that put on Facebook yesterday. She got rid of her landline, and I'm like, "What's a landline?"
We have a landline.
And then
Yeah.
somebody got on there and got all technical, like it's an LAN line, which means blah 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 blah. And I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Wow.
It's a home phone, bitch.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, can you text with a landline?
We have one because I have DirecTV.
Right.
So
And home alarm. And,
And home alarm.
doesn't use for that. Yeah.
I don't need it.
No, I know.
You don't have
for
to, but
hers.
for what we have.
Hers is an
Yeah.
older version of an alarm that you have the newer version of. So
Yes.
don't ever go to Al's house.
ever.
It is alarmed, and there's an armed Marine standing by.
Oh, really?
Oh.
What's he look like?
What is his
Huh?
name?
Jonathan, you met him.
Oh, that one. I'm thinking of. I thought you were going to make up something else that might entice me to stop
Oh
by.
no, armed Marine, real thing.
Right.
That's awesome.
He's a light sleeper.
With a twitchy finger, people.
Oh, that could be fun.
And they've
Depending.
updated those Samsung TVs like 3 times, so you are not getting state-of-the-art technology
not
anymore.
anymore.
That's that dream.
No,
is
I
gone.
want one of those curved ones.
I know, so do I. So please break into my house. I'll turn off the alarms.
Well, I'll just come over and take it.
Yeah.
By all means, I'll put that in my room. Or actually, we could use it for another
Oh my
chat
goodness.
room screen over there.
We could put a Chromecast up there and just zap things up there forever.
I know not of what you speak.
I was like, wow.
Chromecast. I don't.
But if we
know.
Chromecasted this, nobody sees it but us.
I didn't even know we
Well,
were
who needs to
available in
see
a
it but
second
us?
audio program.
We need it.
I didn't
I'm
even
here
know
for
we
us.
were
Aye, aye, aye,
first.
aye.
All right.
Sap.
So
I'm gonna write that down for the after show meeting.
oh, there's gonna be one.
What?
Oh, an after show meeting. Those are.
Don't we always? Aren't we professionals?
I brought updates for the after show meeting.
Aaron
so
wants to know what your address is.
Yeah.
he's asking in the chat room.
I'm fully vaccinated. You can come over.
We'll send that in a separate cover letter, Aaron. As we do.
I'm sure that every disease and germ in the world covers my body and clothing.
Probably.
You're
You're safe.
You're not using the right laundry detergent, Al.
I don't think laundry detergent or soap can cover the shit that I see.
Oh no, I agree with you on that. I'm
just
sure.
put a little cap full of Fabuloso in there.
I just know that when I wake up
Kills
later in the
everything.
day and I can still smell what I left at work, that things aren't going the right way.
When I ride my bike at night through various neighborhoods and somebody's inevitably doing laundry and I smell that Fabuloso,
Yes.
I just can't.
It's like
Now, is that like
acidic-
Suavitel?
It's one of those, yeah.
Because the Suavitel, that's like crack. I seriously.
No, that's actual like
they're gonna
laundry
find.
stuff.
Oh, why? What's the stuff you're talking about?
Fabuloso is it's a floor cleaner, really,
Oh, I got
but
you.
can
I
be
got
used
you.
for everything, and a lot of people like dunk it in their laundry and their
and
dishwasher.
maybe that's not what I'm smelling, but it's one of those.
The really acidic, like sharp, stings your nose one.
I'm not sure. It's. I don't want to be derogatory by any means, but it's a lower end fabric softener that you would buy that you
Oh, that's like
from
that's
Food
what
City.
I think Suavitel
something.
means
Yeah.
is
Yeah. And-
Food City for. This
yeah,
is fabric
for
softener.
Downy.
Downy,
But it
yeah.
smells delicious. It's delightful. And it costs like 39 cents for a 2-year supply.
Yeah.
And I don't really know if it softens anything, but my sheets stink pretty when I use that. Let
Stink
me tell you.
pretty?
Oh, yeah.
It's the way to do it.
When I ride through neighborhoods,
all
I
about.
It's like there's somebody with a can of Glade flour underneath my bed just losing it.
everywhere.
Just full on Linda Wicker. Linda Wicker.
No, wait.
That's
That
real
visual-
Obama's,
Don't
that's
start
real
calling
Obama's
me
friend.
that.
Yeah, that's
Don't
real
start
that's real
calling me
Obama's
that.
friend.
Window wicker. It sounds like a
Meaning
window
of the-
licker.
Yeah, I feel like you should move.
That's what I
I think
thought
like
he
we
was
should
going
move
for.
over because I feel like we're all like ready to attack him.
No, you're not.
I feel like we're staging an intervention.
No, we're good.
I
Actually,
tried to do that,
he
but then I
tried
went,
to move me
"Bah."
down,
I
and I
offered-
liked my
Clayton,
seats.
I'd like to go first and tell you how you're harming my life.
Oh,
it's only a 3-hour show, Al.
Oh, okay.
So how long do you want? I don't know.
damn it! I left my intervention notes at home.
I
Hang
was
on.
just gonna say, I'll just go over the highlights. I won't go into like subcategory B's.
Dear Clayton, I want to start by telling you how much I support you.
And how trapped you are in this room currently.
Dear kitten.
Dear Pussy Willow.
I can't help it. I love those.
Do you watch those?
commercials. I do.
I do. I watch them on YouTube. Those.
Every time I try and be productive with a computer in front of my face, I end up with stupid cat videos.
YouTube
So clearly, the Dear Kitten ones, they come up regularly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I like
A life well lived.
explaining that cat explained to the other cat. It's wonderful to me. Funny stuff. Cat Carlson, the floor is yours. You've been up to what since we last were together?
Oh, about 5-6.
Oh, good.
No, you know what? It's been a pretty busy week. I finished out the book fair wonderfully successfully again. Raised a whole bunch of money to buy books.
Were you led out of the book fair by any law enforcement, or did you leave? You wrap it up on your own?
Wrapped it up on my own.
Okay, just like to check. Just like
a
Yeah.
girl.
No law enforcement necessary. I left of my own free will. and peacefully.
Oh,
Oh,
And
well,
peacefully.
there.
Yeah.
Wow, I wasn't expecting that addendum.
I was not. No.
Yeah, wonderfully successfully. So we'll have a wonderful time buying new books for the elementary school. And what else? The in-laws leave tomorrow at long last.
I didn't
At
even
long last.
realize they were still here.
Those motherfuckers have been here since December 18th.
Write them on our list. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
OMG.
It is today, February 3rd, the year of our Lord,
Yeah,
2015.
you say hello and I say goodbye.
Did you have to draw like a line in the sand and be like, look?
You know what? We didn't.
That was
They,
the last visit I remember. I remember a gauntlet being thrown, if I'm using that word correctly.
Was she still
Yeah.
drinking your booze?
I mean, I bought her own booze.
She
I don't
did
even
that
know.
on purpose, I think. You know,
Yeah. No, you know what? They are wonderful and lovely people, and anybody staying in your house that long is a long time. And they,
what's the rule? It's like fish after 3 days?
3 days, yeah. Yeah. So clearly 7 weeks.
yeah.
You're talking
It's a
about
long
fish
time.
in the fridge, not like in a tank.
I don't.
There's a
No,
cliche
like-
that says something about fish and house guests. After 3 days, you got to throw them out.
I actually don't know about the lifespan of fish. They might live 3 days. That's how long I might be interested.
In any event,
my house.
Gotcha.
we went out last night and had a very nice farewell dinner in which I raised my glass and said, "It's been nice having you. Now go home."
Did you?
And we laughed and we got good and drunk and then ate
they're
a whole
still
bunch
there.
of food and got good and full and
So the next toast is, this time I'm serious.
no, you know what the fun thing is? It looks like they're gonna buy a condo here in town, so they will be snowbirding locally, which is actually kind of a good thing because then not staying at my house.
Right. Locally is not in the house.
Not
They're,
staying at
they're
my
Go
house.
home.
house adjacent.
Yeah, so they may have one return trip while they close on their condo and all that kind of stuff, and then not at my house.
I don't know of
Okay.
anyone that I like 7 weeks worth.
No.
I mean, I
well,
love a lot of people, but not 7 weeks. Like week 3, we'd be like,
7 hours sometimes really is a cutoff period.
And I do need to go on record as saying that they did come down here to really help us out because Sharon had surgery and
Right.
you know, it was jobly challenged and
Jobly challenged.
and we really there were a couple of weeks there that we couldn't have done it without them. So I'm eternally grateful
Oh, right,
to them
right.
for coming.
and they
Very
were.
good.
And I'm
what's-
super excited that they're leaving.
You're
Yeah.
eternally grateful for that as well.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, but it's always. I mean,
Thank you for your service.
Every house has their routine, and I get you guys have
Yeah.
your own little synchronization, and now it's
Right.
going to go back to that.
I hope so.
No, I would
Thank
I
God.
would hope that it would.
I know. Well, and I'm down to like 1.5 jobs, so I got to go play with all my. I got to go play with all my like PTO pals and hang around at the school for entirely too long
Still
today.
think she
and-
means paid time off, but now I got
right, right.
back on
No.
board.
Yeah.
The parent-teacher officials or whatever they're called.
Organization.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Yeah, let it out, Kat. Let it out. No, my God, oh, my Lord.
It's the Fabuloso in this.
I
These,
have
And the
some hand
muffle.
sanitizer.
these were not washed in Fabuloso. I will guarantee
No,
you
they
that.
smell delightful.
Operation Human
They
Shield.
smell wonderful.
I do have Santa hands over here, Martin, if you
I know,
need.
thanks.
So yeah, it's
Just let me know.
starting to feel like life is coming back to normal and coming back to some sort of a balance, which is very nice.
Very good. Now, what is
Very
it?
good.
The 1.5 jobs. What's where?
Well,
where
clearly I work at Cobalt Bar here in Park Central, and
is that the half job?
they're both kind of half jobs.
Okay.
I'm also still driving for Uber.
Right. Oh, then
Yeah.
you have 3.
What's my other? Are you calling this a job?
No. What about your
Yeah.
dealing?
Oh shit! I quit that job 2
A
weeks
lot,
ago.
yeah. I
quit that
kind of
job.
felt that. I kind of felt that from what you were saying.
Playing the
yeah,
part
I
of Katie June this week will be Kat Carlson.
Wow. White woman leaves the
jobs.
reservation.
She didn't say anything about
World
being
remains
sick.
uninformed.
She's fine.
Oh, I didn't realize. No.
I did
quit
Was
that
it
job.
was it a trail of tears or no?
Were you escorted out by law enforcement?
No, but they took my badge away.
That's a solid backup question to anything that's said
a
here.
really good
Were you
backup
escorted
question.
away by?
Yeah, no. I've left that particular career path behind.
Did your departure start with the phrase "You have the right to remain silent"?
No. The departure was amicable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is
no,
a
it just wasn't working. The schedule and the distance and the hours and the
Yeah.
money. It just it wasn't all working
I
together.
get it.
So
I get it.
Gotta try
When
it
you
out.
had
to the
those
next.
long commutes to your working day, you got to factor that into your pay scale. Cause
exactly.
You really
that
don't.
really just takes that hourly down,
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, I mean, back in the day when you used to be able to drive to work and listen to this show before you were part of it, that was a worthwhile drive.
Absolutely.
Right.
Well, and also, now that gas is cheaper, it's a little bit different. But that was the craziness a year
I know.
ago.
Bring
a
on,
little
bring
bit
on
more.
the Hummers.
No. But
And
even
literally.
for just
Right.
people, yeah.
Vehicle and otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I just realized I should
I
put
would
that out
have
to the
I would have
universe.
people that had to I would call to fill in positions. They were
Sure.
coming from the East Valley.
Right.
And we needed someone on 29th Avenue and Dunlap or something. I mean, so the other side of God for those not listening. And you can't make it worth it.
No.
Even if you throw in some kind of bonus, the bonus is fill your gas tank.
And
Yeah.
I got a call the one night that I had signed up for like an overtime shift, and you're at their mercy when you do that. But they said, you could sit at home and take a chance of being called in or not being called in, or this hospital way out in where Jesus forgot to get on the
right.
cross or whatever you want to call it.
Where Jesus lost his sandals.
Oh, that's the phrase. Yeah. I knew I was close.
I like it.
I knew Jesus was in there somewhere losing people. But, and I had to like text back my manager and be like, I don't drive this far for anything. Like,
No. It's not worth
This
it.
should-
That kind of
this should
turned
make-
out to be my case. Like I
This requires, like,
overvalue
air
my
travel.
time. I
Right.
think.
Yeah.
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 and it was,
insane.
cause with traffic, it was like 90 minutes away to this East Valley location. I'm
Oh, I
like,
remember when you did that.
oh, I was calling people because I was so bored. I'm like, I've run out of music to listen to. I really didn't.
No.
but-
That's not possible.
Silly.
Yeah, I know.
Silly.
Let's not
You're
even spread that
goofy.
kind of blasphemy.
Come on.
That's blasphemous. The other comment
is.
about the cross. Now we're good.
Wah, wah, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Again, I don't know how to use blasphemy correctly. I thought the dog had a sick sense of humor.
Lady Ryer.
Yeah.
Yes. It's been a good week.
Now,
Been a good
I
week.
do have a question before you let us know what you did.
Please, I didn't really do anything, so go ahead. Ask away.
Based on how you typically watch football, can we talk about the Super Bowl?
Oh, God, yeah.
Well, I didn't know if you were
Yeah.
waiting to watch it.
Oh, you.
Oh, I understand. I'm like,
Sometimes
because
you
of the
tape
teams,
delay
you're
shit.
So fun, and I do. I do tape delay things.
I guess you were maybe like
But-
40 minutes behind.
We actually did start about 45 minutes in because payroll started on the 1st.
Yeah.
So we were kind of making sure of getting all that in, and then we started the game, and it was good. I did not go on anything, obviously. I'm like, I don't want to see anything. Jason watched it with us, Jason Covert, and he was scrolling through, so he knew what happened. So when the news break, for when the interception happened, Mom and I went nuts.
Right.
And he's like, because he just sat there knowing everything
Right, that was
gonna be
coming.
happening.
That's why at
But-
Oscar time there is no.
There is no,
It's
there are
radio
no
silence.
phones. That's
Uh-uh.
correct. Which it didn't bother me. Had it been the Vikings, different story.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
But not in the Super Bowl. Let's not get silly.
Well, I actually figured you
funny.
would watch it in
Yeah.
relative real time, but I made the joke while we were here watching it ourselves, and I'm like, don't text Marnie. Don't let Marnie know.
No, well, and then I always forget. Always. I start right away because we always tape delay, so then we go faster through the commercials.
And then
Right.
you realize that the Super Bowl is about
Right,
the
and
commercials.
Jason's like, stop it. Last year he had to do the same thing, and finally I'm like, take the goddamn thing from me. Just get it away from
yeah,
me.
Let it roll.
Because the Super Bowl is one of those things that you really don't want to tape delay
No.
too much because.
Well, unless it was this year. But,
no, but I mean, there were a couple of good commercials, and then
and then not.
yeah,
And then not.
yeah, well,
But
Yeah.
we'll be touching on that anyway. But yeah, it was just we watched that. It was an exciting game, I thought personally. Not the
excellent
first
game.
half as much, but
I was power drinking through the first half to enjoy the second half more.
Very nice.
Atta
Turned out to
girl.
be a
Very
really good plan.
Yeah, I can believe that. I was just not impressed football wise because I get so into it. I was crazed by that call at the end. I thought that was the dumbest fucking thing I'd ever seen.
Oh, Diane and I were doing some screaming over here. Let me tell you.
I couldn't imagine what are you doing? What are you doing? You got loudmouth Lynch that doesn't talk for 7 minutes with an egg timer. Why are you not running him in? But
Yeah.
digress. That's just me.
He's still my favorite
Football
person
time.
of the week, though.
He was hysterical. Like I'm not answering your question.
I'm just here so I don't get fined. And then when he did the Skittles thing, the Skittles for money, but he still didn't say anything except for how much he likes Skittles.
I know it.
I'm like, this guy's my hero. And then there's people out there like, this just shows disrespect. No, this just shows that the media does not have access to absolutely everything.
Sure.
And if you're not good at something, don't do it.
Don't do
Right.
it. Sure.
I kind of thought. I mean, there
you're
is
gonna-
the flip a coin. I mean, he's an ass, and you get paid enough money. Sit there and just answer their dumb questions.
But they,
that
but
ask
you know
over
what?
and
But they
over.
double
And
talk
they're so
everything,
dumb.
and they really do. They really turn everything into a huge deal, and you just
You're
can't
right.
take any chance that you're going to get crucified.
Right.
And
That's
be
true.
called a thug for the next year because you made some comment about the game. It's a smart decision in today's media world to just make it funny. And you might piss off some people, and you might make me laugh for like a good solid 40 minutes.
He basically exercised his Fifth Amendment rights.
Yeah, and it
Right.
was
Yeah,
really
you're
He really just did.
it was
Yeah.
very funny to watch.
Well, and he's
Key and
also-
Peele had a really
I didn't see it.
Key and Peele has something where they're doing Richard Sherman and him, and it's Key and Peele doing this, and all all the one Richard Sherman can talk about is the Oscar nomination snub, and every time it's what's his name?
Lynch?
Lynch.
Marshawn Lynch?
Marshawn Lynch's turn to come to the microphone. He goes, biscuits and gravy. And he comes up with like all these different attitudes, like he's got something important to say about the Selma snub.
Right?
He's just biscuits and gravy. And it's just fucking hysterical.
Well, I'm intrigued, and I have not read, and I should, but I have not read the kind of backstory because for quite a while this season, for sure, if not a little bit before, Seattle was saying we don't want him back.
Right,
It's okay,
and
and it's a lot to do with money. It's
Yeah.
a lot to do with money, but it's also something with his attitude. And I didn't know how that factored in, and I just didn't have the time to kind of look that up.
There's a nasty rumor going around that, and it's starting to make a lot of the chat shows, so why not add it here? And it's just a rumor, it's not substantiated, but there's a really evil rumor being spread that Seattle did not want him to have the game-winning play.
Oh,
So that's why they went with the pass first.
Well, that was fucking stupid.
Right. I mean, it's...
No, it worked out for him.
It worked
No,
out
but
well.
they-
yeah, didn't get that
exactly.
game-winning
Didn't
play.
get
in
that
there,
play,
sure
that's
didn't.
right.
But they
Mission accomplished.
They made a really
They also,
risky,
none
similar...
of them have noses.
They made a very, very, very similar risky move at the end of the first half, and it
paid off.
So it was
Right.
it was
There's a
justified, and it was surprising, and you know what I mean, that they wouldn't
There's a
be ready.
risky move, except for you have an entire half of football. If that does not work out,
Right. But this one you have two more downs too. You're not thinking interception at a you know what I mean? I mean you are kind of, but
kind of.
it was in hindsight it was. You tried a surprise play, you got fucked. Oh well, it's a game.
Real fucked.
It's millionaires throwing balls at each other. You know what I mean? In the end of the day, nobody really loses.
I've seen that show before, and it's very different. It's
It's on TNT, I think.
Right.
Well, but it's not on network. It's not on public
Like
network.
not one of these people is broken
And
enough to show up on Celebrity Apprentice yet. You know what I mean?
Not yet.
Think of it that way.
And Puppy Bowl, oh my God, was it ever good? And if you did not get a chance to see it,
I did not.
You really should have. At the end, it was so cute. They had a kitty halftime. They had Kitty Perry at halftime, and
I gotta watch and find out what this is because I've heard so much about
it's
it.
so stupid. And then they had kittens that all of a sudden, dun dun dun, went in, took it over the control room. They were so cute. And then they had the Mad Cat, and I can't remember the name. Erin, if she's listening, might remember. But all of a sudden, it was you've seen Cats and Dogs, the movie Cats and Dogs.
Okay.
And if you have not, it's fucking hysterical. This
Full
cat
up with cats and dogs.
You can
There-
stream the
there-
Puppy Bowl on Animal Planet.
the cat that like is sitting there and kind of this black and white and talks, and they had it speaking with not just a French accent but in French, and then they had it captioned
Subtitled.
underneath.
Oh, fun.
I do not understand why these people are running around with the football and why the puppies go around and hit things everywhere, and it's just this cat
Oh,
sitting
my
there,
God.
and it's dumb and it cracks me up. I was
All right, I'll stream it.
yeah,
I'm in for a laugh.
And you like the cats; they're cute. It's fun.
And
So.
the puppies need some redeeming.
Oh, there's Marnie's girl is in the chat room. It's Aaron. It's there. Its name was Henry.
Henri.
Henri.
Very good, babe. Yeah, Henri. And it was just stupid.
We're here to help you
It was
through
so
the
funny.
European parts of the show.
I don't really fucking care about the European parts of the show. I've got to read a couple names later in headlines that I had to I rehearsed today.
Yeah, good.
You learned about
Fantastic.
Google pronunciation?
No, I just figured out, is it Smythe or Smith? Well, we're going to...
New song. New song.
No song.
Tommy Newsom.
So, but otherwise, the week was
Je
good.
suis.
It just,
Je suis.
a work week and a
Two S.
long week, but good.
And a red day for you.
It is. This made me laugh.
You're all red.
I thought this was fantastic.
What is it?
Duh, it's right here.
Oh, what is
7
that?
inches, 12 inches, find X.
Yeah.
It's right here.
Duh.
Duh.
That's math to me.
Yeah.
Duh. Hello.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Perky Worky, what's
The
up?
end.
Nothing. Work. Super Bowl work showed up here.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with Al.
I'll save it.
Because I have next weekend off, so I combined the 2 weeks into one and got Sunday off, and so all I do is wake up. Now I'm at that fat girl phase of I just wake up and drink and then go back to bed and go to work. It's kind of.
Do you live in a zoo? Because that's about like zoo animals do.
Yeah, it feels a little
Does
zoo
somebody
animal.
give you food? And
Yeah.
you-
I feel like that can't be a terrible
Was
there
there still a Friday thing that
My
you made us
cats,
put on our
my
calendar?
fucking cats do it all the time.
Right.
Felt like
Yes,
years ago?
there is a this Friday thing.
Okay.
We're doing a bar crawl starting at Rulabula at 6:37 p.m. and
Oh,
then
I
you
forgot about
and then you
that.
light rail it up. Our finale is at Charlie's. The survivors meet at Charlie's.
Which means out of all of them, 3 people show up.
Yeah.
Is what that really means.
the last time it was just me,
Oh, okay. Well,
and that
Yeah,
was
Aaron
trying.
was
That was me
winner!
pounding on the cab driver's door, who was in Charlie's peeing,
Oh, no.
which really made me laugh.
Aaron sent a save the date kind of thing. However many months ago you brought this up, so we've had it on our calendar. Apparently, we're going to see you at some point.
Very good. Very good.
Nice.
It's Rula Bula, World of Beer. Some people stop and have a shot at, now I can't remember the Mexican place that's right next to the light rail there in Tempe. But then we do Hanny's downtown, the Sheridan Hotel Bar, because I like to feel like I'm a hooker. And
Who doesn't?
Very nice.
Copper
Who
State or
doesn't?
Blue Hound, depending on people's mood.
Okay.
Actually, we can alternate the Sheraton with the Blue Hound, because the Blue Hound is lovely. And the
I
Palomar,
like the Blue
the beautiful
Hound a lot.
Palomar, yeah. And it should be a beautiful night.
Okay.
And then we swear at the people at Pizza's People Pub for not being open late enough. And I think we're going to add, now we have a new addition because
you can hit Fez if you
we can
want.
hit Fez, and it's much more convenient to the light rail than the old location was.
Yes, it's right there.
And I have been to the promised land. The new Fez is a lovely, lovely setup. It's really, I just feel it's well appointed and delightful.
Yeah, literally double the size. And I took Mom there for brunch on Sunday before we did Super Bowl, and it had a lovely little brunch on their patio. It was really nice, and
Yeah.
it's a great setup for them. If you've not been to Fez here in it's
You
because
just got a Facebook.
there's,
That's okay.
there's
I'm like-
sounds happening on this.
Okay, she didn't uncheck the sound button
I know, I
either.
thought.
The other thing that I have to warn you in advance, if you're on some dumbass fucking diet, and Katie's not here to tell us what our diet of the week is, but
Mine is beer and Girl Scout cookies.
absolutely, that's a strong choice. That is a strong, healthy choice. If you go to Fez and you order their gluten-free anything, kill yourself first, because it's inedible.
Well,
Wow.
Because my
I
friend
think
sits
you
on the
only
table.
eat gluten free if you have to.
Right. No, it's a complete douchebag move.
Yeah.
My friend sits down at the table, and I haven't seen her in a while. And she's like, well, and we're going to order appetizers. Well, I'm gluten and dairy free. I'm like, well, then you're eating alone.
Right.
And
Then you can go sit at that
I said,
table.
well, let's get some hummus to start with, but it was spicy. And she said, no spicy before bed. And I do agree with that. I have a trouble. Spicy before bed gives me the nightmares about voting Republican and stuff like that and other such horrors. So I was like, okay, well then more people, and they ordered the hummus, and she's like, oh, but can we have that gluten-free bread that you mentioned? They brought it over. And it wasn't me. I just sat there quietly while she got a dressing down, or whatever that phrase is, from her best friend companion, who was like, this is the kind of bullshit that makes people hate people like you.
Oh.
All of us are suffering through this shitty bread because of you, and you're not allergic to anything. You're just being a douche.
Oh, I like
And
that.
I was like, and so I was like, is there any reason why you're doing this except for being a pain in the ass at restaurants? And she's like,
Hi, Don.
do people really not like people who do this? I'm like, we hate
We
you.
hate you.
Yeah.
Like,
Everyone
you
who goes
just
to every
ruined-
restaurant
you just
ever.
You're
ruined-
number one on our list right now.
I'm like, you just ruined an appetizer for us because that waitress thinks she can't bring us shit because you said
Yep.
you made it sound like you
Right.
had an allergy. So I told the waitress, I'm like, take this shit off the table and bring us chips, and you're done eating. You're eating alone and no sharesies.
Or make
And
it
she-
super
But she
clear.
was so hurt. She's in this is not. She's not on Facebook. She has no She stays very clear of current events, which is why she's a year and a half behind on being an asshole at a restaurant.
Right.
It was truly one of the funniest things I've ever experienced. Is she was so people don't like me anymore, and I'm like, right, because you just made an ass of yourself in a restaurant. It's 9:30 at night. There's one restaurant in Phoenix, and you're throwing diet requests for no reason at people.
Right, if you legitimately had an issue,
Right.
gluten's not a real issue.
Unless you have celiac
Unless
disease.
you have
But I would
celiac,
say
and
for
then
a
it is
small percentage of
chili.
people.
Very
There,
small.
there is.
It's not her.
And they like that bread because it keeps them alive. But
Yeah.
the rest of it, oh no. So that's what I got to
Yeah.
say about everything at where are we talking about? Fez.
Fez.
Are delicious.
Triscuits gluten-free? No. Yes. No. What?
Oh,
why,
it'll
why
be
would I
written
care?
on there.
Anything with
It'll
wheat
be
in
written
it.
on there.
This,
The
no.
gluten comes from
Triscuits are
wheat.
Can I get extra gluten?
Yeah, Triscuits are all gluten.
two
They're all
Triscuits.
wheat.
Good
Yeah.
to know.
We
It's
walk
not-
through Sprouts and I'll see something and I'll be like, well, thank God. And I just kind of yell, that if it weren't gluten free, I'm not going to be here.
Yeah.
I'm not going to. And Aaron just looks at me like, shut up.
But I
Oh.
do
I'm like,
have
oh my
to.
God, come on.
I do have to eat a little bit of crow on this one because I don't make enough money to afford eating organic food. It's too expensive. But I did find it reasonably priced. Some kind of blueberry, some shit. I didn't read the whole bag because I don't have that kind of time.
Really?
This
Very busy.
This blueberry oat bread, organic. It's delicious.
Sure.
With peanut butter, with butter, toasted, cold, all good.
What is it?
It's my
Blueberry?
New, it's I don't. I
Okay,
can't
no
read you
stroke.
the whole bag, but it's something about blueberry, organic, crusted, crunchy
I don't
wheat
think
bread.
there's
Where do
any
you get
problem
this
with
bread?
that kind of
Single
thing.
woman
Fat and
Safeway?
Easy. Yeah.
Oh,
no,
Fat and Easy.
Fat and Easy. Single fat girl Safeway. but
I I've not ever heard that. That's ridiculous.
What have you not heard?
Fat and easy.
Oh,
I've not heard
he
that.
says it all the
I
time.
never
Pick
heard
up
him
that
say
chicken
that.
salad. It's one serving of chicken salad. It has 88 grams of fat.
Oh,
if you
God.
ate that, and it's this size tin of chicken salad.
Oh,
if you ate this much mayonnaise straight, it doesn't have 88 grams of fat in it. What the fuck is wrong with that chicken? What was it? Was it the Carney Wilson of chickens? What walked in?
The Wilson Phillips chicken salad.
If you go to Fat and Easy with me, I will
Hold
hunt
on,
down
pal.
that chicken salad and I will show it to you.
Oh my God,
88
that's
grams of
insane.
fat. And I brought it up to the cash register. I'm like, what is this?
How can
Did they
you
look at you
even?
and say that
No,
I
the
know
guy
that there
was-
is pain, but
No.
if you hold on for one more day.
Hold on, Carney. Hold on, Carney. I was like, I'm trying to get to Carney Wilson size, obviously, but I wanted to do it in a couple meals,
Organically, right?
not just one chicken salad.
Now just work on your singing career and you got it.
Oh, well. Well, anyways, I won't even say it, but that poor thing. She's been tucked
thing.
and torn and sewed into, and we still mock her.
Well,
I'm sure she's
'cause
a delightful person.
why-
Who I
I'm
would
sure she's very pleasant.
She's strange.
I'm
She's
sure we would be-
strange. I saw her on
Oh, there goes Voice of
No, no,
Reason.
no.
Just fuck that up.
No. I'm being. But
Write
she's
Marnie
Here we
Wilson.
were.
Write Marnie Wilson down.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
She's got the
She's
on.
got the whole world in her hands and she's about to eat it.
Exactly.
But anyways,
on Chopped.
that's terrible.
Marnie Wilson.
She was.
on a food show. Shocker.
I know, but
Okay.
she's so eccentric and so
Yeah.
just kind of.
Well, look at who she was raised by and
Yes,
around.
that's
It's
true.
an easy and cheap mark, but I still take it. I can't
Well, you
help
have
it.
to. I
It's
think
good.
you have to.
Yeah.
I get it.
Go with it.
Marnie Wilson. Fuck off.
That was organic, just like that bread with the label that's too big to fucking
Right.
read.
Good times. Good times. Clayton McKee.
Well, what happened was my mom.
What happened?
My mom about fell over in the fact that we had a Super Bowl party at my house.
With people I saw people.
There
Here.
were people.
People
I
show-
should have stopped
Were they
by. Damn
real?
it.
Yes, the Wilk came by.
Oh,
Carlton, Mr. Perkins here. My mom and I all watched it. It was an odd event to have happen, but it was
Goodness
wonderful.
gracious.
He cleaned a bathroom.
I cleaned some stuff.
Shut the front door.
Yes,
He did not do that though. It was freezing by the end of the game.
It was not. It was
I
lovely.
literally had to tell him, "Shut the front door. I'm cold."
And I offered to turn the ceiling fan, and he goes, "Nope, just the door." I'm like, "Well, the fan's causing more airflow. Doesn't matter. Whatever. We still lost the game."
Did you offer her a sweater?
No, she brings her own fucking parka. I don't give that shit out. By the way, for future reference, the hall closet does have some
Oh, Ernie,
shawls.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you. Shut up, it's my turn.
Really?
Marnie's girl says when we would perform Wilson Phillips, yes, I did that, choreographed and all, parenthetically sad. I guess that's brackets inside the parenthetically. I always had to be Carney Fat Girl Syndrome. I feel like if we were about to put together a drag show, I would be immediately cast as Carney without, and plus her name's Carney.
I know. Come
Right.
on. I know.
If your last name's not Asada, it's a bad choice.
Even
Or-
if it is Asada,
or-
that was a bad choice too.
Is it a name or is it an occupation?
yeah, well, that's just it. That's
Do you work at a
Exactly.
fair?
I know,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
What are your feelings about
Once
tilt-a-whirls?
a carny, always a carny.
50 words or less.
But you know she can.
What my mom
Not only
used
could
to
she
say.
work there, you can eat there. So the name, it's a double thing for her. She can be a food.
It's a
she can
double
be
carny.
A,
I mean,
have an
when
She just holds
occupation.
up her ID. I'm a Carney.
Yeah.
Give me the hot dog.
Yeah, show me on the
Again,
hot dog where I
cheap,
can eat
easy
you.
jokes at the expense of weight problem.
And the
people,
other
which,
thing-
there's not a lot of room to talk over here, but
So
still going.
Super Bowl thing happened.
Oh, you're still talking. I'm sorry.
You know the usual, the employee things here and there. And my mom's father's birthday, though he passed away several years ago, he would have been 100 years old yesterday.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
exciting.
So in his memory, I pulled the gas tank out of the truck and the seat and started doing some more work on the old Dodge here.
I
So
love it.
Well, muzzle
Yeah.
tov.
I was not sure where I pulled the gas tank out was going. I'm like,
well,
I saw that
based
and
on
wondered
based
if
on its tenure in your garage, there's some work I have to do on the truck now. And one of the things is taking the gas tank out
oh yeah,
to have it cleaned.
Cause smell funky.
Yeah, because
She smelled funky.
Because gas went bad. So
She smells like the
I've
folds
learned-
of Carney Wilson, as it's called on PBS.
Sad face.
I have learned a lot about the plight of when gas goes bad, ladies and gentlemen. It's not good. And you can use
And that is
that.
not a tale of a cucumber.
I was just gonna say. This is 2 weeks in a row with bad gas stories.
Moving on.
Oh, and then the other
Next scholar.
The other thing for me is I think I mentioned it to you all last week. I'm now in the market for new transportation.
I know, and I'm going with you.
And I think
Oh.
I actually think we already know what we're doing.
Oh,
You name one person who's bought more cars than me. I have to go.
Carlton has bought more cars than you.
That's a good point.
I've been at it like a decade longer than he's been at it.
But still,
That's kind of true.
but he trades
Every
them in every
15
2
minutes.
He flips them all the time. He's got 2 now.
Right.
And he wants a third.
I'm still way ahead of it. I can count his cars on one
I'll have
hand.
a third. As soon as I buy another car, I'll have a third.
Like, I can count his cars on one hand.
I was trying to work a deal.
I almost have him beat exponentially.
I have a budget for this car. And
That's why I have to go.
again, I can just shut your mic off if you'd like.
I can scream from here.
I have a budget for this car, so I thought, because I thought, well, I'll go with a lesser priced car and use the same amount of money because I found a bus. I'm like, well, I was thinking we could do them both. I can get a bus and a car. Works out wonderful for everybody. So far, that has been shot down. So not getting what I want at this point. But anyway, the vehicle, I think it's not even on the lot yet. They haven't even released the vehicle to 2015. They haven't even hit the lot yet. So
Are you going to tell us what it is?
Ford Edge.
Oh, I'm very excited.
Oh, it sounds
Well, now
Because
you gotta
appar-
bring me with you. I'm a Ford driver.
Because apparently it does every fucking thing you ever wanted a car to
Yeah.
do. It does everything, apparently. I don't know.
Wait. Does it make toast?
I think it's an option.
we have improved the technology.
I'll let you know if I can smell that. When,
I will.
When you get
We
there.
will. We will. If you smell toast in the
That was
vehicle.
very funny.
But anyway, I have to track it down and figure out more about it. We'll do that later on.
I'm going with you.
Well,
I'd be
that's
very
fine.
upset.
That's fine. You can go with me. They allow Carney Wilson lookalikes on the car
I
lot.
know.
You'll be fine.
Because I love to test drive everything. I annoy everybody at the lot.
You know, I'm excited about.
That sounds fun.
It'll have a Sony surround sound system in it.
Right.
I'm excited about that
And
too.
you know what the best part is when they see me? They know that however annoying I am, I'm buying the car. Because once I sit down at the desk, well, we got to buy the car. Otherwise, I'm just wasting my time.
Right.
Sure.
Why would
Like,
you do
I am
that?
the biggest sure thing in the world. Wish for a Hummer.
I've heard that.
While Al practices other things that he's a
Allegedly.
sure thing at, we'll be right back as we continue on with headlines and all kinds of other things right here on the show on Q Talk America. Stick around.
You're listening to Q Talk America.
Are you ready for this? It's a 30-second dance break.
This is the Q Talk America Radio Network.
Okay, kids, here we go. 7:42 on the old clock, and it's headlines coming at you right now on Q Talk America. Man gets his voice mail back.
A girl that's McLovin' it isn't still dead.
I'll quit before you take my hat.
Going postal or coming postal?
You are not good to go.
Rub-a-dub-dub, 2 Houstons in a tub.
Coach's clipping causes chaos.
Ken or Barbie?
And another bizarre Florida story because we can't have headlines without it. These and more things coming at you right now. I apparently have made Al laugh with my alliteration of Coach's clipping causes chaos.
I'm going with Rub-a-dub-dub, 2 Houstons in a tub.
And our clean copper clappers. That's the
Yeah.
other thing we're
I
worried
like
about.
that.
I'm on
And a
the edge
proper
of my
cup of
seat
coffee
for
cup.
all of it.
Oh, don't you love that song?
I do.
I
do.
It makes me laugh every time. The last line of that song, if I can have a proper cup of coffee, I'll have a scotch.
She's just a woman
idea.
after my own heart.
I think if we're
I'll
talking...
go into some detail at lunch.
I-
At lunch, at entertainment.
What is that?
I don't know.
Or lunch.
Fuck you all.
You know what, Al? Here's to the ladies who lunch.
Exactly. Everybody rise.
Aren't they a dear? Okay, well, we'll start off with the heartwarming story to start with. Then we'll go downhill from there. Pardon me. A husband who thought he had lost... Oh, well, I'm going to preface this story. How many people, and I know I had
7.
for the long time... you know, when you change phone carriers, if you've got a saved voicemail or something that you've just been saving because it's somebody that that maybe it's no longer with us or whatever.
Oh.
If you change carriers,
Sad.
you lose that voicemail, like it's gone. Or if you change carriers, you have to re-record your outgoing voice message. Well, a husband who thought he had lost a recording of his late wife's voice that he had kept for more than 10 years has described the moment that the message was recovered as, quote, wonderful. Stan Beaton had kept the voicemail since his wife Ruby's death back in 2003, but technical work by the Virgin Media phone company, this is over in England, caused it to be deleted. However, the telecoms company has now managed to recover the message. Listening to the message, he said, quote, it's just a wonderful, wonderful sound that I thought was lost forever. He said, I've always resisted changing companies because whenever I mentioned that my wife's voice was our original outgoing voicemail message and would it be retained, the companies all said no, so I never changed carriers. In the early days, I listened to it quite often, he said. Basically, it came to the point when I felt low, then I would listen to it. And in December, I learned that it had disappeared, and I just could not tell people how it had affected me, and it really did devastate me. Well, Mr. Beaton contacted Virgin, who managed to retrieve the message, which has now been permanently saved for him. Rob Evans, executive director of engineering at Virgin Media, said that finding it was like searching for a needle in a haystack. However, a team of 11 engineers spent 3 days tracking it down. And what I've got, it's about a 50-second audio clip I'm going to play for you. This is when a BBC radio interviewer had gone to the gentleman's house with the recording that he thought was gone and presented it to him. And here was his reaction.
We've been in contact with Virgin.
Yeah.
And they've had 10 people working around the clock to try and get hold of this voicemail,
Really?
which they've managed to do, yeah. And I have this with me now. Would you like to hear it?
Certainly would. 10 people?
10 people working on it.
It must have cost a fortune. I'm staggered by that.
Would you like to hear the recording?
Yes, oh yes. I'm not sure I'm going to react.
So this is the recording that you thought you'd lost forever of your wife's voicemail.
Sorry, at the moment, Stan and Ruby are not available.
That's
But please leave your phone number and your name after the tone. We will get back to you as soon as possible.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Marvellous. You'll know just how happy I am. It's just a wonderful, wonderful sound.
I just thought that was so fantastic. And if you Google it, you can find it easily online. The man hears his late wife's voice again, and it's just, if you've ever saved a voicemail or dug out an old cassette tape where you've recorded somebody's voice on, and you just hear it again, it's just like they're there. It's fantastic. Now, with modern technology, more stuff, like I can record through the studio here, I can record any voicemail off of a phone, and we can literally save it just as a recording and move on and save it. But I remember, because as a little kid, I used to take my cassette recorder around, pretend that I was a radio station, and I would record my grandparents talking, and I would interview them, and I would do things, and I still have all those tapes.
Oh,
so
that's awesome.
not only do I get to listen to myself as 9 years old, I can literally, that voice, like the resonance of your grandfather's voice, or your grandmother, or just the way that they would talk, or it's lovely to have that. So I just thought that was such a touching story that company went out of their way to
that is
find it.
And I was kind of hoping it was a personal voicemail, not just the outgoing message, but it was sweet. I mean, that is sweet to hear.
But he just gets to hear her voice.
Because I was just, well, first off, my dad never called, so I would never get that back. But I was thinking with my mom, it would be, hey, I don't like talking into these. It's your mom. Just haven't heard from you in a while. I wanted to make sure everything was okay. You should probably call. Okay. Because I always give my mom sarcasm that she never have it. It was always that flat tone of like, whatever. But see, I always give her some inflection there. There was just never much inflection in her voice. But that would be sweet to have, just to have one of those like, hey, I don't like talking to these.
So if you're ever
What
down,
is this? What are these?
do you not have? Are there any home movies with audio or anything from back in the day?
I'm sure there are, but she'd be like, get that away from me. Like, that's what it would be.
But still,
Yeah.
you get that, yeah.
But that's
I have one of my grandfather. It was I want to say it was his retirement party back in '79, because he was horrible with rhythm, and he thought he could play banjo and he could sing, but he always did it.
Wow, there's a sentence I did not see the ending of.
No, but
Wow.
he always had his own pace, and Grandma, who played piano, could never keep up because she'd play at the right, right
Right.
and he was all over the place. But I have one recording where I come up with my cassette recorder, and he says, "You need to stop that because we're hitting too many clinkers."
This is a story about a family that needed a metronome.
It would not have mattered to him. Would not have mattered. Not at all.
So those that clap on the 1 and the 3 will understand.
He was
Even
like,
the 2-4 clappers will understand.
I think Grandpa was more like
the 1 and 3.5 clappers. They're the ones you got to work for.
I have a friend that to this day still can't clap to music. Still does not understand. Doesn't even grasp the concept.
Oh, I saw him this other night at Charlie's, actually.
No, this is a sad female.
Oh, a different version.
Get that damn microphone out of my face.
Exactly.
That's funny.
Edith said that.
So we were talking about the Super Bowl earlier and said we'd get
I don't
to
remember.
commercials.
Was that recently?
Just a few minutes ago.
Okay.
Is that soccer?
El Football.
El Football.
Yes.
Same song.
Same song. So some of the commercials, if you had an opportunity to watch them, it seemed like the majority of them were trying to be very touching and very thought-provoking.
There was a lot of dad stuff in there.
A lot of dad stuff. Isn't
Yeah.
that interesting? Like, be good to your kid, except for, like, if they have to watch you almost die 14 times,
Yeah.
if, by the time you're 18. But isn't that funny?
Have to watch Elmo
Adrian
die. What did you just say?
Is that what the nationwide
almost had to
thing is
watch
about?
it. No, that was what the Nissan car commercial was about.
It was about
with
watching
the-
kids die?
No.
I feel like that's
what-
not a car.
The kid had to try to watch his dad die almost 14 times in the NASCAR kind of thing. Like, to say, you're a good dad.
No,
Or
right.
apparently
But he
if
was
you
never
use-
he was unaware of the risks his father was taking. He was always looking the other way
Right.
and didn't realize how dangerous his dad's job was.
Right.
And then his father, but he just knows his dad's not there.
Right. And apparently if you use Dove, you're a caring man and a strong man. Arr.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I mean, some of them were really good. It was just it was very interesting because of everything that's gone on with the NFL this year.
Right, and they've been really stressing
Being good to
fight
your
with each other, not
kids.
your kids and your wife.
Right.
Beat up the millionaire next to you, not
Right.
the woman
pizza
at home.
commercial for the 911 call.
Oh, and
very
it's
powerful.
a dramatic reenactment of a very real event.
Very powerful. But there were some.
It was a real 911 call, but reenacted to perfect her privacy, since we're dealing in England before.
And, correct. And
I really
did you hear
should have
that,
watched
or
them.
No,
No, I haven't watched any of it yet.
She called 911, but pretended she was calling for
Pizza.
a pizza.
A pizza.
And the
Because the
dispatcher
abuser
figures
was
out.
there.
He's like, "Can you not talk?" And she goes, "Oh, yes, yes."
I like
And then
pepperoni
he
or something.
says, "Well,
whatever.
can you stay on the line?" She goes, "No, thank you, goodbye."
Yeah.
And then, it was kind of gotcha.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
But so there were a lot of themes that went with the ads. The one that I did laugh out loud was the Lindsay Lohan.
Oh, I did too.
And that was
I
I
thought
was
that
en
was
route, and I was promised a
hysterical.
rewatching, but we were on a time schedule.
I still
so we
have
You'll
it.
have to get
I
that.
still have it.
Because that
It
was hysterical.
so funny.
Because the commercials they kept playing for insurance, the commercials of people showing up that weren't that it's kind of the same. Saying insurance, well, they're kind of the same. So Lindsay Lohan pulls up in a car that's all smashed to hell to this kid, and the one to pick up her kid from school.
Sure.
And the one young kid looks at the other and says, "Your mom is a really bad driver." And the little kid goes, "Yeah." And then, "That's not my mom." And Lindsay Lohan rolls down the window and is like, "Come on, kid, get in the car." "Well, I'm close enough to your mom. We're both in our 30s. We're both a mess," or something.
Something.
Like that.
And he goes, "No, I'm good." And she runs over everything.
Everything.
That's
And
fine.
it's so funny
It
that
was
it's
funny.
her. It really was funny.
That she was mocking herself. But there were 3 commercials that one was interesting, 2 stood out. One is the kid, the Nationwide, still dead.
Yeah, that was too much for me.
I thought it was too much as well. And the reason, and I look to you as far as with if the boys were watching,
Okay.
if they were watching, that there were a lot of commercials that parents had to explain quite a few things to kids. Mm-hmm. Quite a few things.
And this year it wasn't erectile dysfunction, which it usually is.
Well, actually, there was one commercial with the guy throwing a blue pill and it falls down, and all of a sudden the Fiat
It was the
becomes real
Fiat.
strong and big,
Oh, that's really
Yeah.
funny.
and the dents go out of it because it goes in the gas tank.
That
It was cute.
That's funny.
Nationwide put a dead kid on TV during the Super Bowl, and it really bummed everybody out. This kid comes on, little kid.
Oh, I've seen that picture, sure.
Yep. And he
I like
comes
that it
on,
says "still dead" on the top of her
still
picture.
Yeah.
dead, still dead. The ad was "Make safe happen." Make safe happen. Well, that's a condom.
Can I give it a subtitle parenthetically?
Go ahead.
Cause random paranoia.
Cause random paranoia. Absolutely. I guess
So it
it's
was
supposed
an
to be about a
advertisement for the
kid-
Republican Party?
Right. I guess it's supposed to be about how kids die in preventable accidents and how it'd be cool if that happened less. But since Nationwide is an insurance company, they're not into preventing stuff, right? They're just there to give you some cash when preventable comes to pass.
Well, they would prefer things.
I
not
think they
happen
pretty
because
much
they make
would
more
like,
money.
yeah,
They would
to
prefer
keep the
it.
money that you give
So
them.
this commercial being aired during a television event that featured Katy Perry riding the More You Know logo was just an unnecessary bummer that had nothing to do with anything, right? I mean, people really didn't know what to make of it.
I was kind of taken aback.
What I got out of it was like, call up now and insure your kid for a lot of money because he's about to go outside and die.
Those kids are crazy. The one that I thought was interesting, Jason was like, I don't get it, was the McDonald's spread the love with the
And
new
they
currency.
left it purposely vague until yesterday, the second the promotion started.
The Voltron
you have to go inside, and it's something about smiling or
up until February 14th.
yeah, there's
Yep.
something about the 2nd to the 14th, and it's still a little vague, but there's something about your reaction to them. You get a free meal.
It's random, apparently. I'm sure it's however many orders, and then something will come up to prompt them. But starting today, which was February 2nd, McDonald's will be accepting a new kind of currency. They're spreading the love until February 14th between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. They'll be selected randomly. People will be, after placing their orders, and instead of paying with cash, they might have to pay with like a fist bump, or that double cheeseburger that you order might tell you that you have to call a dear friend or do something. It was
what if I don't want to? Can I still pay cash?
trade it? You
Yeah.
probably could.
I'm like,
I don't want to
I
talk.
don't really want to call
I don't want to
anybody.
talk to that cunt.
Can I
I
just give you the $10?
I'm ordering out the 99-cent menu. Leave me the fuck alone.
And I thought it would be fun only in the sense of how many of us, and sometimes going fast, and just how many of us are so fucking rude anymore. You go in somewhere and you're just rude, and it's a shame that there are absolutely no manners. And how are you? And people at Starbucks will say that they come on, hey, how are you? Blah blah. What can I get you? And no one says, I'm well, thanks. How are you?
And in the
No one asked them.
subset of people you interact with, your fast food workers are probably like right up there in the serfdom list of like subhumans that just deserve all your contempt because their lives are awful. You know what I mean? Like you get that, you see that attitude. I mean, I usually only go to places that don't end in Bertos when on a road trip because I'm going for fast food in Phoenix.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
There's going to be some carne asada in there.
I enjoy when I go somewhere, even if it's the checkout person at Home Depot or Ace Hardware, or if it is a food thing.
Sure.
When they ask, I always give them something back. Like, oftentimes, well, how are you? Well, I'm dysfunctional. How are you? And they're like,
it.
and then they engage more. I always get a kick out of it.
Yeah, but you engage, and I always that's my idea of
I'm
instant
well. How are
karma,
you?
right?
Yeah.
Is just being kind to people you encounter, like. And I do a thing sometimes when I travel or if I'm somewhere I don't know people, I just smile at people to freak them out, and to see if I'll get something back. And it must because in New York everyone acknowledges you. Like you don't walk down the street in New York and like everybody hi. Or like you go places, nice weather. Shut the fuck up. I know I covered that with the last 10 people I passed.
Right.
But it's an interaction, and I think it's just human connection, and you need to do it. But I'll just make a point of like I'm just gonna make you uncomfortable till you acknowledge I'm in a fucking room.
I'll hold the door for people, like just trying to do nice things. And I took it that was what this was going to be all about.
And
walking up and anyone who responded with I'm well, thanks. How are you doing?
Because and like I said, they're still being vague about what it is they want. But McDonald's is having they're going under. They're having some rough financial times.
That's my understanding.
So this is a big, expensive campaign to get them back on track and get you thinking about McDonald's again, because they've taken so much heat for like, is it beef? Is it this? Is it that?
Well, and they're changing their menu because they had gone to just a huge kind of menu and it went everywhere, and now they're just kind of going back to basics.
And then you just have too much supply sitting back in your place, and the
McDonald's
is its own food source. Like Taco Bell and them use Pepsi
Domino's
food, right? But some
does their own.
But some people are like Pepsi Food Corporation, and they share their delivery. But McDonald's is just McDonald's.
Okay.
They may share a little bit with Coca-Cola now and then, but that's a lot of money to keep like all that food back there. Because I'm sorry, if you were looking for a salad, McDonald's is not where you're going,
right?
Unless you're on a road trip and you want to not be a fat cow.
Sure.
You're making a deal.
The last one that I just thought was amazing, and it's fairly brief because it was so to the point, was And it always has to be, no pun intended, and always kind of commercial. But Always did a commercial. They started with a lot of stuff last June.
Oh, this was funny
concerning
because
the Like a Girl
you
campaign.
commented on this.
Oh, she bleeds like a girl.
She bleeds like a girl. That's awesome. But they come up with at the end. I went, seriously, could it have been something else? But
Right, because that's where he was going with this. We were all like,
We were like, well,
throw
'cause it
like
was
a
a
girl,
great
run like a girl.
commercial.
What's it like to do this?
bleed like a girl. The powerful 60-second spot, no pun intended, ran during. Was that one okay?
what?
That it was a spot, the 60-second spot.
I don't
Yeah.
think he caught that.
I
I
did.
I caught it.
Anyway, I thought that was really good. And if you haven't seen that one, if you're saying you haven't seen some of the commercials, that one's really
Yeah,
good.
it's the fight like a girl, run like a girl, and they ask boys to do everything like a girl, and then they ask little girls run like a girl, fight like a girl.
What does that mean to you?
What does
and
that
the-
mean to
yeah.
you?
And the one kid, he said, "Well, what's it like to throw like a girl?" And he demonstrates it, and he go, and the whoever the producer is says, "Well, did you just insult your sister?" And he goes,
No.
"Well, no, not my sister. Other girls, not my sister."
Yeah.
And then they're like, "It's the same. You're painting with a broad brush."
So now you're,
right.
now we got to take girl off the list. You're not allowed to call somebody a girl
Write
anymore
that down.
because it's now like, you know what I mean?
Jesus,
it's on the
fuck.
list.
How do
of-
you insult
in
somebody
10 years,
these
Marty's gonna
days?
be like, you can't call her a girl. That's an
Just don't call her a
insult.
girl tard.
Yeah. All right.
Retards
All
out,
right,
fatties out, girls
I just
out.
have to tell you that Sarah Palin just became a girl tard.
Okay, that's all right. Well, I'm okay with that.
And it's the voice of fucking reason's fault. But girl tard,
girl
Is
I don't
tard.
think there's a better word
Jumping
for
on
Sarah
the wagon
Palin.
with
Yeah.
that. I'm not going to disagree.
All right, I have two.
I can't.
I have to piggyback on top of her later.
Okay. Oh.
Wow, that sounds
Yep,
uncomfortable.
sure did.
And
Yep. I gotta go.
I will not be on my knees.
That's good to know. We'll come back and we'll see if Marnie's on her knees and finding out what piggybacking Marnie means to Al in just a moment. We're in the middle of headlines. More coming right after this. Stick around. It's Q Talk America and the show coming to you live from Phoenix, Arizona on a Tuesday night.
You've been listening to the show on Q Talk America. This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's the show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Well, good evening again, everybody. It is the beginning of Hour 2 on Q Talk America. This is the show. I'm Clayton McKee alongside Kat Carlson, Marnie Ryer, and Al Perkins. Katie June has the week off doing important things for human rights, and she'll tell us more about that and whatever diet she's on and what's ailing her when she returns next week.
Oh, and what diet she's on? Did you mention that?
Yeah.
Whatever ailing and diet. And I'm hoping to have the new jingle together for the new segment called What's Wrong with Katie? Because I think there needs to be that.
Just hit record and sing that again, because
was
we
perfect.
I think we should all just do it and surprise her with it
I
next
think
week.
it should be that, and then like Kat will be like Katie, and I can do Katie, and so everyone's a part of
I got
it.
the lower
now
part
we
of
have-
this.
No.
How did
First
that
of all, the soprano over here
You can
is singing.
Katie.
I don't think we're going to get harmony out
All
of
of a sudden, I
anything in
got
this.
Mama saying bass. You know what I mean?
I was just gonna say that. I was
Al's
looking
all
across the
about
table,
the
going,
bass.
"Daddy should sing bass because Mama sings tenor."
And the rest of the band just joined
And the
along.
rest of the band was at the whistle pig.
So were you saying we need
Something.
to? Should we?
Are
do
we
we need
harmonizing?
What's wrong?
Do we
with
need to try
That
this?
was the word I couldn't
Wait,
find.
so are we trying this now? Are we going to record this
No,
now?
no, we'll
No,
do it later.
let's not do that at all.
That's funny. Though,
Although
I couldn't find that word. God.
These people tune in for anything. You might as well do an experimental vocal camp workshop. These people listen to anything.
What's that show? What's that
God love
stupid
'em.
show?
We need their input though.
Okay, these wake and bakes are killing me. I'm trashed on one really full glass of wine.
Oh, well, let's
Parenthetically.
quit filling them so fucking full.
Hold on, I gotta walk
How
over
dare you?
there.
It's a long way to go.
Oh,
Jesus, God, that's not the
It's
answer.
it's a time saver. Oh, I see.
Just sing your bass over there.
I feel I've been betrayed.
So how are we gonna do this? It's so okay. We have to because I have to isolate this
No,
sound
we
bite.
gotta practice this without.
I feel like there's a lot of pressure on
On your
on my vocal stylings over here. Yeah.
How's that?
I know.
I feel like
Or
I'm
we
not
could just
warmed up.
leave.
I want to go warm up in the
You've
bathroom.
been talking for a fucking hour. How are you not warmed up?
It's so different from singing.
A little bit. All right, play the
What's-
fucking thing where we do the drinking game.
Oh, let's drink. Yes.
What's wrong
Drinks,
with
drinks,
Katie?
drinks.
I think that's it. I don't even think we need the other voices, but it's funnier if we all do it.
I'll
Maybe
figure
it was
it
So
out.
a
I'm going to
Bewitched
compliment
music,
you and
but-
criticize you at the same time. It's a gift.
Okay, here, let's kick this shit off so we can get moved on to some other goddamn segment on the show. So listen to this and stick around. Would you do this? God bless it.
And now, a drink along.
Did you see Aaron?
We dare you to stay awake during this royalty-free music and to play a drinking game with us. If you are currently or soon to be driving a car, you cannot play. If you are presently the primary caregiver for children and or the elderly, you may desperately want to play, but no. If you are listening from a rehab facility, you are disqualified because you already hit bottom. And that means you already won this game at least once. If playing this game is in any way illegal for you, put the bottle down and make better life choices. There is no good in your goodbye, and there is no lifeguard on duty, so you will be swimming at your own risk. Tell your lawyer to take the fucking day off. You can't sue us. We warned you. Good luck.
Our drinking phrases sure did.
Yes.
Sure did.
I'm going to write that down.
And you can feel free to go as hee-haw as you'd like with this
How
one.
long have you been saving this one?
Like 5 weeks.
That's good.
But you know what's better
I
is
honestly thought you were going to go with girl charge, so that's good.
Sure did.
there's a word that's here from like sometime last summer that's just waiting for its debut.
Yeah.
Sure did.
Sure did.
Oh, I like. Me likey.
It is good.
You had a couple follow-up points to Marnie.
All right, first off, good people of Budweiser.
Yeah.
Put it
Oh,
to
no.
bed.
Yeah.
The puppy horse thing, you're just lazy. And am I coming to Budweiser, Buddy early? Is Steven Spielberg now directing beer commercials? Because that was just lazy, insipid,
Trying to get the tears.
maudlin, grotesque filmmaking. I was appalled by the entire thing. You already did it last year. The slow down version of I would walk 500 miles and probably get a couple blisters, parenthetically, is how they should end that.
Right.
It was just sappy and stupid. I liked the one where the GoDaddy one where the dog makes it home and they're like, yeah, now good thing you came home. I already sold you. Because you know what I mean? Puppy breeders, they're not bad things. Everybody has purebred dogs. They'll pretend to be animal lovers, but then they spend $500 on a dog and leave the one that needs a home in the pound. But we're not going to talk about that. But Budweiser then
I'm not
redeems
sure where we
its-
went just now.
Oh, in ugly
kinda
place.
Went off the rails. Sure
I
did.
liked it. Yeah.
Sure did. There was a commercial where a dog gets lost somewhere and it tries to get home and the horses miss him. So the Clydesdales break down the door and they go out looking for him. The puppy's trapped by a mean wolf and the horses scare off the wolf. And it's the whole thing is as the dog's making his way across country, they played like a slowed down version of an I would walk 500. And it was
I'm familiar.
just lazy.
No.
Steven Spielberg filming. It was seriously like something that if you handed that into me for Film School 101, I'd be like, okay, you need to go and find out what a real movie's about because this was just treacly. It was gross. It made me uncomfortable and I was drunk. It was hard to do.
That's hard.
Wishing for a Hummer. Sure did.
Sure did.
But then Budweiser comes screaming.
Yeah, and I cried. I agree with Aaron.
Well, of
We
course
did.
you cried. It was so manipulative. How could
No,
you not?
You're right. But I'm just saying, like, it wasn't a great commercial.
Right.
But come on, it was
Ernie, if
fucking
somebody
cute.
pokes you with a needle about 400 times, you're going to cry too. That's not really a response. You know what I mean? If you watch The Color Purple, it's bad filmmaking, but you're still going to cry because he gotcha.
Drew, you got
Right.
it, Drew. You got it, Drew.
Somebody get that mosquito.
But it's been in here for months.
Oh.
It's like the person from the United Arab Emirates. We can't catch it. We can't find out their
Maybe
name, but it's still here.
Maybe they're just IP masking.
If Katie sees
Wow.
it, if Katie
Sure
sees
did.
it, she's gonna get West Nile.
I'll go get my electric flash water. We'll just electrocute that
malaria.
mother-
What's wrong with Katie?
Malaria.
It's a $10 tent. But I got to tell you, Budweiser won me back because they put on a full-on snarky "fuck you" ad
Oh, I like that one.
to microbreweries.
I saw
about-
you post about that.
and it was. And now people are like, "Oh my God, that's so like hypocritical of them because they bought the only place that makes peach pumpkin ale. They bought the company. They're just saying for all those people that sit around in these little microbrewery bars the great white hunters at it over here. That sit around these bars.
Motherfucker! God damn it.
Missed it.
But,
sure did.
Got him.
Got it.
Step on that, Al. Step on it.
Sure did.
Kill it, kill it.
No,
So isn't that it?
yes, but you didn't hit it.
I did. I think I smeared it.
What is it? Get her done.
Get her done. So anyway,
Sure did.
Sure
but
did.
it was just a nice little, for those people that sit around and are all like snooty, being hipster, being like, oh, I don't drink that beer. You know, I only drink something that's made out of granola and blueberries.
Wait, no, time out. Like when I walked in the house and opened the fridge and got my locally made Papago Brewery's
Yeah.
Orange Blossom beer and went, what the fuck is Budweiser doing in the fridge?
Right. And it's fine. If you like
That
it.
happened today.
Right.
And I
Today.
think
At
beer,
my house.
beer drinkers have just found out what wine
your
drinkers
mom
have
was
known for a
drinking
long
it.
time. Any conversation about your fancy wine or beer is just pretentious going in. You're not going to
Sure.
come across as enlightened or educated. You're going to come across as a pompous ass when you talk about wine, or now if you're getting snooty about beer, you
I'll
just
allow it.
instantly should grow a beard and like twirl your mustache. You
I
just
have
sound like an
always
asshole.
wanted to do that,
Yeah.
incidentally.
Number one, there were no animals harmed in the making of this show today.
No. Oh, well, one.
Insects.
Sure
That's
did.
right. Yeah.
Sure did.
I stamped the fuck out of that
I know, I'm
insect.
just
It's
saying.
dead.
I'm just-
I
No
was,
malaria in
I
here.
was going to try and take the blame and kill all it,
No.
kill it by itself, but
I think that it's a lot like gluten-free. If you actually either like it or need it, fine. But don't do it just to be like, oh,
well, I'm
look
not
at
drinking.
me.
I'm too good for Budweiser.
Budweiser,
You know what I mean?
is that what you're drinking?
If I'm
No.
at Pride and it's 105 degrees outside and you got an ice cold Bud Light, sign me the fuck
Right.
up.
Well, sure.
And I don't think they serve gays Budweiser because I would say Budweiser, but I don't think gays are allowed to drink that.
They
Gays
do.
don't-
Bud
No,
Light.
we're a Bud Light people.
Bud Light people.
We're
Right.
Bud Light people for sure.
Yeah.
No, but at
I
Pride,
feel
it's
like
Bud,
you could get
Bud Light.
You could get-
Amberbach.
I feel like the
Stella.
gays could get a dispensation from like Neil Patrick Harris to enjoy a Budweiser, but you're gonna need a note from your mom because you have to drink a light beer. We're gay, right? They don't allow us
We're
to
a
drink
vodka
regular
and
beer.
light
Bud and
people.
Bud Light are one of the biggest sponsors
Yeah.
of our gay pride.
Right, Bud Light. You notice how Bud
But- no.
sends its
But Bud
sure
is there
did. They
as
sent their
well.
cousin in. They
Sure
were
But the-
did.
no.
Every goddamn poster says Bud Light, not Budweiser.
Yeah.
Look at all the banners. In
But
fact,
they're Budweiser
the banner I'm
trucks.
about to make for the Cat Carlson Memorial VIP Phoenix Pride official
did.
stage, sponsored by Cat Carlson, is also going to be sponsored by Bud Light.
right. So in my
Unofficially.
snarky
Sure did.
comments about the microbrews
always.
and all that. If you like the microbrews, enjoy them. Go right ahead. But Budweiser just had something to say about you've been being snotty about us at bars for a while, and we're the best selling beer in the world.
Yeah.
So
Right.
fuck you, and we can whip out these horses at any time and make Ernie cry. You know what I mean? We got something your microbrewery doesn't have. We got 18 Clydesdales and a
Yeah.
little fucking puppy that doesn't age that we can whip out every fucking year.
It
You
used
know
to be a
what? That's-
Dalmatian.
That's actually
Oh,
been.
and that's sure did.
Oh.
When you
Lost
know what
the
we got
spot.
in reserve? Just when you think you're getting all snooty, we're gonna whip out a fucking Dalmatian,
God damn
and
it.
we're gonna win your goddamn heart, and you're gonna drink that
We're gonna
Budweiser
put
and
an
like
American
it.
flag
it
up
was,
there.
It was so snarky and fuck you that it was so inappropriate with dead children and
Yeah.
tampon ads.
Yeah.
I was like, somebody finally just got it real and just said,
Just had a thought for
Yeah.
you segment.
sure did.
Is that called Al's High Horse?
No, it's called
Budweiser is
What's
the
Up
only
Al's
commercial
Ass.
So close.
Yeah, so close.
Same song.
Yeah, go ahead. Can't you had a comment?
Same song.
You had a comment?
I think I did, but I think it may be irrelevant
I
at this
love it.
point.
Oh, Drew, I hope
we're
I hope
moving
you
on.
didn't leave because I said something bad about a. I don't even know. I said,
Not sure what.
Yeah, I can't even pick
Yeah.
a topic.
No,
I've said so many bad
he's saying
things.
good night to Aaron.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Aaron's leaving?
She had
There's so much. There's so much going on.
Oh,
There's an entire
Ernie's
second
leaving.
show going on in the
Oh,
chat
I
room.
know.
We can't keep up with it all.
Remember when we
Oh,
said we were going
everybody's
to keep
saying
the
goodnight to
crosstalk to the
Ernie.
chat room?
All right.
Night,
I'm
Ernie.
sorry, Ernie. I'm not really
Good night,
sorry.
Ernie.
Ernie and I always fight
Well,
about
your mom
animals.
is a Bud drinker, right?
Oh, well, yeah,
Oh, and
she's-
she did. She stood right up and did the pledge of, oh, what the fuck just happened? Why am I on here? Oh, nobody wants to see me in person. I just hit some button that showed me in this thing. Sure did.
FaceTime.
I don't know what you did.
That is not an angle I want to be remembered for.
The upshot, yeah, there's that.
So anyways, but yeah,
Missy
but,
Al's taking a selfie from down below.
oh, and
Not okay.
no, nuh-uh.
This shit is
Fine,
not
sir.
okay.
How
Yeah,
high
your
can we
turn.
get that drone to go to shoot down on him?
Exactly. How do you feel about the stratosphere? I'm okay with the Vegas Tower too.
Yeah, there's that.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
our very
Arf. Oh no, Garp is
our
down
very,
to one syllable.
our very own Wayne Newton in studio with us tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Jesus fuck, not this.
Donkashane.
Freaking-tastic that is.
You know
I
what?
met him in person here at
Did
Sky
you?
Harbor Airport. Yes, I did.
Looked just like
Nope,
me, didn't
nope,
he?
that was her last week.
No, it's not.
Totally me.
Not with that facelift and hairline. It was not.
Shh, she's right there.
No, it's not.
Wait till you see the
How
Timothy
rude.
Hunt one. That one's good too.
She's wearing it.
Sure did.
Moving on. The new sheriff of a Wyoming county has banned his deputies from wearing cowboy hats and cowboy boots. A
Because
change.
they look like part of the village people.
A change that led.
I'll leave.
You know what's so funny is during the day when I rehearse all these stories, they go so well. They go so fucking well.
Sure did.
No, I'm not inviting you over for rehearsal. Fuck you.
Wait, did I miss rehearsal today?
Yeah, exactly. I do it all
Did
alone.
you call me because you didn't knew I wouldn't be here?
I
today?
read the stories to Maggie and Marty. That's what I do.
How did they enjoy them?
Well, one runs away in fear, and Maggie just wants me to pet her.
So it's like a live show.
Yeah, it is.
What do you think, Henri?
Starting over with this story about Wyoming. The new sheriff of a Wyoming county has banned his deputies from wearing cowboy hats and cowboy boots, a change that led one longtime deputy to retire rather than to give up his Western wear. Sublette County Sheriff Stephen Haskell imposed the new dress code in the western Wyoming county that includes Pinedale, which True West magazine recently named a true western town. Haskell is requiring deputies to wear black trousers, a tan shirt, black boots, and a black ball cap, saying the change is for safety and for uniformity. Here's where I love this story, because how many goddamn years have people in the West, law enforcement, been wearing cowboy hats? He says, quote, "I'm very much for the Western way of life and the look, and that's the way I dress personally," Haskell told the Casper Star Tribune. However, for a professional outfit, I like everybody to look the same. We are one team unified in one purpose, and that is our job. Haskell, 53 years old, who has worked in law enforcement for 3 years, also argues that cowboy boots are slippery on ice and cowboy hats can blow away in Wyoming's blustery wind. The change led Deputy Gene Bryson to retire last Friday after 28 years with the department and after about 40 years in total in law enforcement. His uniform included a brown cowboy hat, boots, and a leather vest in the summer, or a wool vest in the winter. The uniform change is, quote, "kind of the reason I retired," Bryson told the newspaper. "I'm not going to change. I've been here for 40 odd years in the sheriff's office, and I'm not going to go out and buy combat boots and throw my vest away and say, here, this is the new me."
I feel like this was written by Chandler Bing. I want to wear the vest.
Sure did.
I'm sorry, Chandler Bong.
My first question is, was the sheriff's name Haskell? Is
Eddie?
that correct?
It's not
Ding ding.
Eddie Haskell. No, not Eddie Haskell. But Haskell
All right.
is the new sheriff in town.
New Sheriff
and
Haskell.
And the deputy,
All right.
which was Gene Bryson, is the one who decided to retire rather than wear new uniforms.
Sure did.
If somebody tells me to start wearing white pants, game's over. Back to bartending. Because the last thing you want to see is this house in white pants. You know what I'm saying? How to make your house look bigger? Paint it white.
Paint it white, yeah. True story.
Yes, you have discussed
You think-
that before.
Sure did.
Sure did.
I'm with him though. I would retire. Take away my boots. Nope.
Can't do it.
Can't do it. What am I? How am I gonna live?
I
I don't
think
know
quite
either.
well.
And I don't
think
want
you'd
to.
be fine,
I don't want to go all Blackwell on your ass. But if I see one more person in like a skirt above the knees and high boots, I'm gonna kill myself.
Yeah, what is
Why
that?
It's
are
the
you
jeans and the high boots that are cracking me
why
up.
are you making me look at your knees? Like what?
Oh,
the
that is
fuck?
awkward.
Was that in the 70s, the late 70s?
That was last week. I see it all the
Yeah.
time.
No,
It's the jeans and the
It
knee
came
high
back
boots that are
around.
just making me want to go.
yeah,
"Arr."
cyclical.
Yes, I sure did. I remember.
Sure
did.
You should.
I remember being kind of grossed out by it then, and then their boots are a little too tight, and it squeezes all their knee fat up.
Well, and that was also.
Christ Almighty, you know what I mean?
I seem to
Hashtag,
recall
that is
seeing.
not okay.
You're looking too close.
I seem to recall pictures of Nancy Sinatra wearing that same look, a short skirt and those high boots.
No, hers was short. I'm okay with short. Because then you're showing me some thigh. It's when it's the skirt comes to here and the boot comes to here and everything's just the boot's too tight and it squeezes your knee fat up.
So you've
Get a
covered up
gay
the part
friend.
that they don't shave except for in the summer. but
Right.
Squeeze
That's
the knee
what I
fat
feel like.
up.
That's what I feel
That's
like.
exactly
doing.
what happened.
This
yeah.
is the part of my body I shaved today, and I'm gonna show it off. Wow.
Look, I shaved above the knee.
Just this
This
much.
Just this much. Sure did.
I
Just
shaved
this
the big
goes.
shave for the gynecologist. I saved the big shave for the gynecologist. You know what I mean?
Right.
I love it. Harrison would have practical
And
heels
third
and a
dates.
tiara.
See, she would.
She would.
That's why
and
we're
would look
friends.
fabulous. I like it. So
Practical heels. Harrison just used the phrase practical heels. She doesn't even know how to use that in a sentence. Bitch!
I like it though.
This girl wears ridiculous shoes.
Too soon. Rub-a-dub-dub. To Houston.
No, she's still
in a
alive.
tub.
Oh,
She's still alive. It's not too soon.
Maybe. I don't know how well.
Brain dead.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, can this family take a fucking shower?
Seriously, that's what I said. I'm like, what? Get out of the tub. What is wrong with you?
I'm sorry. You should look for phrases that include 2/3 bathroom. Because it's
Something. Will you stop with
3/4
the
bath.
tub?
Because the 4th quarter is
Fucks
what
up
you're going to
every
die
time.
in.
Dead.
Yeah, you can't be
Yeah.
found face down in a
Every
shower
time.
stall.
What are you going to be? A nationwide commercial? Next year, that's what they're going to have on there. The
Houston family,
Houston,
right.
we have a problem.
Houston would do all these things, but nope, they took a bath.
Here comes Sissy Houston.
Now what we expect, because I'm sure you have more to read, but we're going to ignore that.
Oh, totally.
Sure
We
did.
should.
What we think is that what they're doing to be, because I'm like, what normal, and I don't care how skinny you are, what normal person is in the bathtub and then suddenly flips over like, you're doing kind of dolphin show at SeaWorld before the abuse started. What we're thinking is they were standing there running their bath, running their hands through it, enjoying a Calgon commercial, and then passed out cold and went face down in the tub. Because otherwise, I got some questions about how the Houstons take baths.
Well, there's that. Or did the
they're doing it
soap
wrong.
kind of like slipped, and then she slipped on it? Oh wait, you're supposed to be sitting
Right.
in a tub.
But it's the face first
The
thing
face
that,
first thing.
because I didn't know this about Whitney. And my question is, and I wrote this down,
Yes, please.
where's Ray J?
He's got his finger. He's got his finger on the pulse.
We got another dead Houston, and nobody has accounted for Ray J.
Could you look that up by any
He's not even listening
Sure
anymore.
did.
I just
See
threw it
where
back
Ray
to the
J
first
is?
show.
No, I heard
Is
you.
Ray J?
Who the fuck is Ray J? And why is he always finding Houston's dead in
I'm
the bathtub?
queuing up things like
So
this.
Oh.
Oh, it's terrifying.
Wonderful song. That was a critique. Thank you very much, Whitney Houston.
Apparently, she, Bobby Christina, of course, we're talking about, was tweeting up a storm. And everything from garlic fries to
Mr. Bubble
fishtail
in the
braid
tub will get you
to more
squeaky
cryptic
clean.
things like
Sure
on
did.
my own. Upside down. On
Upside
my
down,
own.
you're turning me.
So, poor thing, God bless her, was found unresponsive in the bathtub in Roswell, Georgia. And she was rushed to the hospital. In a coma now, from my understanding.
Died this afternoon, I thought.
I did not
yet.
hear died.
No. And we're thinking it's the same thing.
Oh, I would have had that.
There's a popular bet where I work that they're doing the same thing they did with Joan Rivers. We're doing a little hypothermia protocol. We're cooling her down, and then we're gonna wake her up and find out if there's any neurofunction left.
Right.
Because they did do extensive CPR, and her husband/brother, welcome to the South, found her and did very effective CPR and got her back, and so there's something to be said by knowing your CPR. I mean, you have to make light of it because it's just too sad.
Well, and it's too. I mean, come on.
It's just too sad and it's too tragic that it's just that this life and these terrible choices have just led to like just more destruction and ruin. And poor Sissy.
I mean,
Oh,
for real.
right. Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
I just feel for them, and I know we're laughing and making fun, but I'm pretty sure they're not listening.
And if they are, get out of the tub.
Right, exactly.
Please do not take a bath.
No, you're not
Take a
good at
shower.
it.
But
No,
if
you're
any-
not good at it.
No,
No,
you're
you're not.
But if
Sure
anything,
did.
if
You're
anything
not.
else bad happens, remember this.
You did. You sure did.
Can you queue up I Want to Dance with Somebody for later? Just a random. I'm not kidding because I love
Somebody who
that.
loves me.
We need
I want to feel the heat with somebody.
Altogether,
Sure did.
Yeah.
Just because I think this is one of the few stories I've not told on the air in all these years. I had my boyfriend Kiki back in the 90s. I think there's probably one left that I haven't told, unless something new happens. My boyfriend Kiki back in the 90s, he would stay over, and we would wake up in the morning and we would watch VH1, and that song was brand spanking new.
Oh God.
And Kiki didn't speak a lot of English.
Sure, like you do.
And I wish I could get the wording down, and I can only get you the translation. But we're watching her, and the song comes on, and we're both kind of like listening to it, and then it does that big zoom in close up, and she just unhinges her jaw and hits that note, and all he says to me in Spanish is like, "She's got a big fucking mouth." And it was one of my favorite moments of being in bed with a man. It had nothing to do with all we had done all night. It was the waking up, and that was his reaction to that song. It wasn't like, what a beautiful love song.
You mean when she?
She's got a big fucking
Yes,
mouth.
Harrison. Yes.
Oh my God, Harrison, that's fantastic.
I love it.
Lordy.
And when you're done with that shower, you'll feel like you'll just. Oh, I hit the wrong goddamn thing.
Did you fuck my cat? Who is
What?
this Edith?
What the fuck?
Oh, Kiki.
Oh, Kiki.
Oh, I gotcha. It was
You
short
know,
for Ezekiel.
I think that the greatest love of all is the
Really
for
a stand-up
mother to her
shower.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's really only one moment in time that you can flip over in the fucking tub and almost die. She says, "I know how my mother died, and I've learned from her mistakes." Nope, you didn't.
But no drugs or alcohol found in the home.
Not for the second sweep.
Understood.
The second sweep, they found it all.
Yeah.
The cursory initial was going through, and they didn't see anything.
Probably got
they
rid
figured it
of.
would all be on countertops or
Right.
tables.
Oh.
No, they went through and found it. And the guy who was in the house that found her. Did you hear about that motherfucker?
That's her husband.
No. The white guy with the mohawk. Did you not see him in the news?
Oh, no.
Oh yeah.
I just
friend of hers also has been running for different drug charges and different things as well. He's the one that found her. He amscrayed, and then the husband
Pig Latin, ladies and gentlemen. Pig Latin. Sure did.
The
Pig
husband
lay.
is the one that got her out of the bathtub and started doing everything, and then turned around and said,
Sure did. Oh, I like it.
Your mom is my mom.
Well,
Too soon?
No, never. Too soon. Not
3
on
years.
here, not on this show. She inherited her mom's fortune. I'm sure that can't be something good for her.
No,
truthfully,
but they
because
had
of
it-
all that
they had it paced
craziness.
out.
No, they
do they have it
did an
paced out?
intervention that she agreed to. Sissy and the aunt, and the
good.
aunt's name I never remember, but it's not Dion.
Nope.
But Sissy and the aunt got together and petitioned the court
Okay.
to dole out the money in
Distributions.
increments, and
Oh,
Bobby
good. Okay.
Bobby Christina did not fight it at all.
Okay.
She agreed that it was a good idea.
Got it. 'Cause
And
I
it was
didn't see
one of
that,
those
and I
things that
thought, oh.
TMZ was about to sure did cover that, and then Bobby Christina was like, no, that's a very smart financial decision because I'm going through that today.
Well, that makes sense because this was saying that they were evicted from an apartment. She and her husband. It was kind of like, why were they? Why is she not buying a house?
right.
Why-
I thought that too.
What is happening? Because that just seems silly.
But you usually have a house in one place and then apartments in other cities where you might frequent. And she had
Yeah.
a big desire to be a singer, actress, and I guess she had a YouTube channel, and it was filled with really horrible negative comments about Obama. But before
Of
they got to
course.
Obama, they
Sure.
were saying you're not your mom, and there was some really really
really
hateful
hurtful
comments.
shit, yeah, I bet.
Because she really wanted to be a singer actress, and even the article that I was writing that was trying to be kind about it was but she didn't have her voice.
Right. And she didn't. I mean,
Yeah.
the different things that I've
Well,
heard,
and-
she came under more scrutiny because she apparently just in March was last March became really, really thin. She says, I am my mother's child. Have you ever heard of fast metabolism? Yeah, I've heard of cocaine. Yeah. But
Usually synonymous.
right, totally.
And
yeah.
and what do all those people always say about cocaine?
I think. I'm enjoying this very much.
I just want you to know that I have gotten a better seat in hell every minute of the last 12.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
There was no doubt I was going, but let me tell you,
I think one of the biggest things that
Welcome
I had a
aboard.
problem
I'm in
with on
dress
here-
circle now.
Yeah. Oh, I'm driving the bus, so go ahead and get on. I have to be in control.
Well, you have to drive the bus. You have to drive the bus because I got good seats.
Edith, crack is whack.
That's right.
Whitney Kill.
I
Right.
can show you all the receipts from my drug dealers.
But
I
in
bought the good stuff.
In July, Bobby Christina had posted something on her Instagram account, allegedly showing her smoking pot out of a bong, and then she said, "I never posted anything like that. I've never posted any photo of me doing anything."
Recently.
not saying that I've never posted a photo, but I'm not going to post a photo of me doing drugs.
Neither did Rob Ford from Canada.
No, not
Right.
at all. Other
Same.
Crack
people
smoking
did.
marijuana.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
I love that was his tagline for
But
2 months.
Yeah.
the serious part of this conversation, and we're gonna go all transparent on your ass, is if you're raising your children in these horrifying situations,
Right.
and just living in this denial of these drugs aren't bad. I mean, Whitney's. I think this would have been, if had Whitney lived, this would have been the wake up call to her of wow, this drug problem might be out of control if my daughter's this much of a hot
Yeah.
fucking mess.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And Bobby Brown, and just to sell more records, Macy Gray did a CD a couple of years ago, and it was called The Sellout, and it's just a fantastic CD. And she does a duet with Bobby Brown called Real Love that has been on my
Oh,
my
I think I have
regular
that.
playlist for years. It's one of my favorite songs, and he's just These were talented
Oh,
people.
absolutely.
Like Bobby Brown might be, a drug addict, abuser, or whatever, but he's a talented guy, and like all the shit that just happened to them.
Right. It doesn't matter.
It just
how...
from bad choices. Like it's just really, as I sit here with a glass of wine and a thing of,
fat-free
heart attack.
There's Weight Watchers and then there's Cocaine Anonymous, and I think that
right, but you're still dead.
But you could be.
Yeah, exactly.
You could be.
Yeah.
And it really is. You're right with choices. There are different. I meant there are different programs
right,
for everything.
Right, and you say the drugs will kill you, but Keith Richards is still here to tell us different. So
right. So it really is.
Thank you, Drew.
Bobby Brown.
and as bad as that is,
we can go back and forth between she's got a big fucking mouth and sure did.
Sure did.
And Kiki would love it if he hadn't left me for a woman.
This just in.
Well, 23 years ago it was just in, but
breaking news.
Well, it was
Apparently
actually
wasn't just
it
in.
was actually just out.
So we'll see if Al has the finger
Because he
on the
sure
pulse
did.
of Bobby Christina for next week. We'll see
I
how
know.
that.
And we're going to keep our
we'll
finger
watch
on the
that.
pulse. And it's too late to add her to the death den because that's just cheating.
Oh, that
Not
is-
necessarily,
No, that
'cause-
is 0 points.
Yeah, no, because we already know where the ship's going.
Oh yeah.
The iceberg is dead ahead.
They said the same
Oh no,
thing
the
about Rhoda.
the iceberg's behind us.
Oh, that's right. In the hole.
Yeah.
And now we're taking on water.
I'll see you at the
No
bottom.
pun
Yeah.
intended.
I'll
with the
never let
water.
go, Rose.
See,
I'll never
tell
let
them
go.
What happened? I don't
Bye,
know.
Jack.
But I will.
Bye, Jack. You're dead.
Exactly. I'll never let go, Rose. I did not make that promise.
That
The
is
guy
not
with
in
the
my
whistle. The
contract.
guy with the whistle can verify. I did not say that back.
Well, if Bobby Christina had a kid, I'd just say swimming lessons.
She has not had a child.
But I'm just saying the
Jesus.
whole Houston family in the pool.
And
It's time to start. Get your water wings.
Get the
Learn to
wings.
fucking swim.
wear them in the shower, even, because if you slip.
I'm sorry, wear it on the toilet. Because seriously, shallow water, not
Well,
your
you're
friend.
They
Your
say a
teeth,
child
and
can,
she
dr-
has
and
big
can
teeth.
a child can drown in less than 2 inches of water.
That's right. 2
So-
seconds is too long.
It is.
So can I if I hold your face down in the... Oh, I'm sorry. That's motive.
Mr. Mickey.
Next caller.
Thank you. Is the
makes-
caller
that makes-
there?
that makes it premeditated. I'm so sorry.
Helen,
Before
my
I
knife
kill you, can you
37
edit
times.
Exactly. Before I kill you, can you edit that out in post?
He had it coming.
He did.
He did. Sure did.
Sure
If
did.
you'd have been there,
Two warning
if you'd have
shots.
seen it.
I could have got that song done in like 35 seconds. He had it coming. Sure did. Moving on.
Oh, but the drama's so taken away from that. Why would we have BB Newirth and her pins running around on stage?
Maybe if she screamed it.
Yeah, she had it coming! I'm not sure.
That's Harmony. Do you hear that?
Oh, almost.
Well, the dogs next door did. Humans might be off the list, but
Oh, Jesus.
word.
the
Well,
dog from the Budweiser commercial will know what I mean.
a Washington State man says that he paid more than $18,000 in bridge tolls for his son who crossed the 520 bridge daily for work.
Not the 420?
But never got the good to go pass that he was supposed to get. KING TV reports that Tom Rose's son thought that he would be billed for the tolls and that he could pay later.
Here he goes. Put it away.
I don't know.
No, this is a stupid.
Carry on.
Go.
Carry on.
Turn my mic down. I'm not going to recover.
His son never received a bill. He learned the total of what he owed when he tried to sell his car and discovered a lien of more than $18,000 on it, put on by the state. That's $1,360 in tolls and more than $16,000 in fines and penalties. The department says that they tried to bill him, but their letters were returned. He will have to pay the tolls, but officials say that they will try to work something out concerning the rest of the penalties. A lawyer, consequently, has filed a class action lawsuit against the department concerning their policies.
What kind of fucking girl tart can't figure out that the giant white square thing in the windshield is not on your car, and you're just zooming through? Like about day 5, you should say, you know what, I can see Jersey from here. Those Easy Pass things are seriously half the size of your windshield. And this kid drove for $18,000 worth of tolls.
$1,360 in tolls, but $16,000 in fines.
I'm sorry. He needs to be taken out and neutered. That kind of stupid should not breed. If you live in a state with tolls or you rent a car,
How do you not know?
It's gigantic.
Yeah.
It says Easy Pay in giant letters. It makes
Or-
you feel like you bought a hooker and it's on your windshield.
The story also shows a stop sign that says pay
Snap
toll.
ass, sure did.
There's a sign in the story that says it stops and it says must pay toll.
About the 300th time, though, the state of, is it Jersey? Where are we
No,
at?
Washington State.
Should have shot him. Just pull out a bullet. Just get the trooper out there and shoot the fucker in the head.
23 cents.
Oh my
Takes
God.
care of the
Oh
problem.
my God.
Oh. Whenever he starts laughing like that, I can't help it.
Well,
I don't even
I
have to
didn't-
know what he's laughing at.
I
I
just gotta
lose
tell you,
it.
in New York State, because my sister lives on an island that you have to pay to get off of.
Yes.
So anytime,
I think that's the best part. You have to pay to get off
yeah,
of
you
it.
can live here, but bitch, if you want to leave,
Right.
it's gonna cost you a
gonna cost
dollar.
you money.
Locked in. Sure did.
But it's gigantic, and it really impedes your view of like. You're driving by something pretty, and you're like, well, I think that's a nice view, but there's a giant white, huge honking thing in my face.
Yeah. My favorite was that
be a
the
metaphor.
Easy Pass there.
Because I just drove around. I just rented a car through the Northeast, and every state had toll roads. So that thing is on every fucking car.
Right.
So this tard, settle down.
Boy tard.
Girl
Boy
tard.
tard. I'm sorry, boy tard. He's a tard like a boy. Because tard
I
like.
only kind of gave that for Sarah Palin.
All
Like, it
right,
made sense.
all right, boy tard is.
Oh
our
no,
new
we're gonna
word.
beat it up and lick windows all the way through this.
Yeah,
No, Wick Lindos?
but
wasn't it? What did
they're
he say
gigantic.
earlier? Wick Lindos?
So I can't talk. I can't
Wick
talk. I can't
Lindos?
speak to the
Wick Lindos?
Washington State thing. I've never
I
rented.
think that's
a
my
car
new
there,
drag
but-
name.
I just think it's awesome.
No, new drag name. Amber Alert.
Wick Lindos.
Wick Lindos. I'm going to be Wick Lindos. It sounds like a game show host. And I'm Wick Lindos here.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Wick Lindos. It's Saturday Night Live with Wick Windows.
No,
Wick Lindos.
Wick Lindos.
Who's that? Who's that? Who's our new friend? Oh, was that Edith again?
Wick Windows is in the chat room. I love it.
Who is Edith? Because I like her. Is it Bag of Nope?
I'm on the,
It's Ty.
No, because Bag of Nope
it's
just
Ty.
got here.
Oh, and Bag of Nope is Wick and Lindos?
No.
No, bagging up is still bagging up.
Kind of feel like Dr.
Bag of
Ben
Nope!
Carlson
Oh, Bag of
is
Nope.
Wick
I did not.
Lindos.
I can't read that fast. Because I'm a boy tard.
She's pretty.
I'm a gay tard.
So,
Oh, so Aaron has now got a. Is this the pass from Washington?
Look it! Yeah, it's half the size of your fucking rear view mirror, people.
so
This kid's a tard.
I had asked about Ken or Barbie. Like, would you rather be Ken or Barbie?
Dirty.
Neither one has genitalia, so
Well, there you have it. Well,
I'm going to
Adjust-
go with Ken.
adjust
Saves
your-
a lot of time.
adjust your
I'm
response.
gonna
Better
go with
wardrobe.
that. Right.
Better wardrobe.
You know how we've
Less toilet
we've done
paper.
stories in
Nothing
the
comes
past
out.
about women that are attempting through plastic surgery to look like Barbie. Have you?
I've seen
we've
it.
done these different things, and they spend
Is this about the new Ken guy?
yes.
Yeah.
I start next week.
Terrifying.
Leotard.
Terrifying.
What?
Okay, I get a dispensation for leotard.
Yeah, that's good. Okay.
It's offensive to no
Iceberg,
one.
right ahead.
You fucking leotard.
that's
All right, I'm in. I'm in.
That's good, Leotard.
Leotard's appropriate for children too,
I'm gonna
because
name
they
this
might
show.
think they're just wearing a onesie.
That's good
In
stuff.
dance
People
class.
do that to children.
I like
Right.
it.
All right,
I
all
like
right.
it.
I think you were talking.
No, maybe. It doesn't matter. So there is a gentleman, we'll call him Ken Rodrigo.
Wait, is there
Did
a
you like
picture?
that? I don't know.
Can I find a
Say
picture?
that again. No. Say that again in English.
There is a picture.
I
was.
almost motorboated my wine. Oh,
There is a picture. That's him trying to look like Ken.
well,
Doing pretty good. It's like
yeah.
1956 Ken, but I'll allow it.
I have a feeling that after all this is done, he's going to want somebody to say to him, "Oh, I fucked it up."
He's hoping.
oh, he's our leotard of the week.
People will do a lot of weird things when it comes to their appearance. But
Leotard is
surgically
fantastic.
modifying yourself to look like a toy character seems to be on a whole different level of bizarre. And yet here we are. The new real life Ken has been identified.
Well, don't you know? I talked about him before on the show a long time ago. Justin Jenica, out of Chicago.
He is right.
Justin Jenica.
Gesundheit.
I want to meet him only because I cannot imagine, and I have a couple friends who actually are friends with him. I just think I want to meet him because I'm like, I want to talk to you to figure out what's
This one?
yeah, Justin Jenica, and I think he's cute.
I think he's plastic,
I
much
don't
like Ken.
give a shit about that.
No, I'm just saying, like,
He's not moving in. We're just.
No. You're right.
If it's okay, I'd like to talk to him on the phone.
Because the whole time I'd be like,
well, no, because we learned what FaceTime did to me. I screamed and ran, and it was my face.
You gotta go for the up angle,
right?
Did you not
Please.
see the selfie? You gotta go way
Up, yeah. That's what I said. The stratosphere.
Right.
Las Vegas.
So this gentleman underwent another round of plastic surgery, and he's up to $250,000 that he has spent to look like this.
How many
Ken
Broadway
doll.
shows that is? This is a leotard of the highest caliber.
He does look like Ken. It's a little freaky, but he does. But the idea of altering your appearance that much, the Ken doll thing, obviously, I was curious what you guys thought of that. But can you imagine like any of this plastic surgery, but $250,000?
No.
Wow.
I'd have better cable for that much money. Are you kidding me?
I wouldn't have to ask mom to pay anything.
You know, everything to me is dollar
TV,
signs. Like
right,
I only
right.
see things in dollar signs. $250,000.
Love you, Laura.
And you look as freaky as I do. You know what I mean?
Stop it.
No, he does. You know what I mean? Like
A little more sculpted than you.
right, but still freaky.
Well,
You're still gonna turn away
You
like,
better
oh,
look
that's kind of gross. You know what I mean?
sculpted at
nobody turns away from you.
Well,
If that came walking up, because this is
Is that a cold shoulder? Nope.
this right here is the little plastic pieces that go on a cake.
Bye, Laura.
But you can't tell that that's not that guy.
It reminds me of the web series on YouTube called The Most Popular Girls in School that's all done with
You're
Barbie
right.
dolls.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
I love that series.
Oh, I forgot how much I love that.
Yeah.
I like the thing that, and I think it was Laura, and she's already gone, that posted it, or maybe it was somebody else I know.
Laura's right
that
there.
just said no, but I think she said goodbye.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, Laura.
You can't fix ugly on the inside. Like
Correct.
if you're not engaging and like
Yep.
personable, you can look like whatever you want to. People are still gonna walk away
Right.
from you because you're fucking boring.
Yeah.
And you know what? You can cut yourself $250,000 worth of times, and you're still boring.
Right.
Like that's not. It doesn't.
It
fix
doesn't
it.
enhance anything but
No.
people going, oh, you look like Ken. Yep,
Right.
the end. And
Yeah,
walking
well,
away.
and that's the end of any. Because you'll meet people that are very, very beautiful on the outside,
Sure.
and you go up and talk to them, and you're like,
Well, just like Clayton.
and you'll be like, well, sure, sure did.
No, I'm sorry. I wasn't ready for the cue. Stand by.
Too late. It's too late.
Oh, we got it now.
Yeah,
But-
you missed it.
All right.
And there it is.
Yep.
But you
I
end
am
up like
Mr. Potato Head. Let's
we've
go.
all been in those situations where you want to chew off your own paw to get out of the lint trap. You know what I mean? Like it's just that's what Snuggle the Care Bear says.
Cute. I like it.
Snuggles.
I'd rather
Chew off my own paw.
than to get out of this lint trap. Like you're like, well, you're pretty, but and then if you sleep with somebody pretty, God forbid, because then they act like they're doing you a favor.
Favor, not a favor.
And I
well,
gotta
maybe
do-
it's a favor, but I mean, you find that out.
Honey, you got to do my laundry for me to do whatever you're asking, because that shit ain't happening. I don't care how pretty you are.
I get it.
Sure did.
Sure did.
I'm not really sure where we went.
I don't know, but sometimes I'm pro people, and sometimes I'm, turns out Carney Wilson's the, I'm caring, I'm not caring. This liquor's a dangerous drug.
I see where we went. Okay, good. Good, I'm glad.
Good for you, Drew.
I like that we're all going to read.
I love it. Ugly fucks suck.
Now she's in it.
Well,
All right.
sometimes you just turn
Well,
the
a
lights
friendly
off.
bet between a high school coach and a wrestler has led to a suspension and a police investigation in the state of Hawaii.
You said the country of Hawaii.
Almost.
Look at you, yeah.
Carla Fontes hadn't cut her again. When I read these to the cats, they're fantastic,
They never question
and
me.
I even edit them down to
Is
make
that
it.
European?
Yeah. Carla Fontes hadn't cut her hair since intermediate school, but her coach at Waikiki High School thought the long flowing hair below her waist was interfering with the sport of wrestling. So the coach and the student,
that's fair.
The coach and the student had made a bet that if she lost a match, he would be able to cut her hair. Well, after a 3-0 start, Fontes did indeed lose her first match last week. Well, she allowed the coach to cut her hair at a team meeting on Monday, even though Fontes' mother had expressly forbidden it. Now, Fontes said that she didn't relay that information to her coach. Well, the coach has been suspended, according to the State Department of Education spokesman Donalyn De La Cruz. Now, Arlette Fontes, who is the mother of the child, was furious when her 15-year-old daughter came home with shoulder-length hair, saying, quote, "My daughter's hair went all the way down to her butt before. Now it looks like a rat has been nibbling on it. That piece of her is gone." Carla Fontes said that she loves wrestling and wants the sport to lead away to college scholarships. It lets me, she says, quote, it lets me take some of my anger out, she said of wrestling. I'm going to guess against her mother. She said that she wishes that her hair wasn't cut, but that's the way it is. The coach has since declined a comment. Now, Principal Kelsey Koga said in an email, quote, in any educational situation, it is always best practice to receive parental consent before making any decisions that directly affect a student, especially in a situation like this. Arlette Fontes said that she will pursue charges against the coach. Hawaii County Police said that a department has started an investigation as of Tuesday morning.
Wow.
What are you gonna do?
That's some bullshit.
You cut her hair. It grows back.
For real.
And the girl let you. I mean, the girl...
Yeah. We're intermediate school. I assume we're talking like middle school. So we're talking like a 15-year-old.
Probably.
So
actually, I want to say it did say that her age. Hang on.
I apologize. I may not have been listening.
Go ahead. I think it did say somewhere in here.
Sure did.
Yeah, it did. Her 15-year-old daughter came home. Exactly.
There it is.
No,
yeah, why are you going to punish this guy because some 15-year-old little snot didn't say, oh, my mom said I can't do that. Are you kidding? My mom said I couldn't drink and smoke either, and I was 15 years old fucking doing
Something tells
it.
me that the daughter, though, maybe her mom wouldn't let her cut her hair, and that was her retaliation. She's like, well, mom says no, but if I don't tell him and he gets cut, it's
not
done,
the
I'm out of
coach's
it.
fault.
Right. So she just conveniently didn't tell the coach, got her haircut.
Have you met 15-year-old girls? Has anybody met
now
a 15-year-old
she comes out and
girl?
she's lesbian.
And remember, I told you the very important lesson that went on in my house about gambling. You do not make a bet you are not prepared to lose.
That's right.
Because you made the bet, and I'm sorry, like there's an honor code coming up here.
Bitch, right.
You got to pay up, and it's your fucking hair. You got to cut it off.
Right.
And
that's exactly right.
Is that what happened to you?
Yes.
But he keeps
sure
taking the
Sure
bet
did.
over
Sure
and
did.
over and
Sure
over.
did.
I lose that bet every other day.
Right, Aaron, I agree. Hair will grow back.
Hair will grow back. It'll grow back, and it's a lesson to this girl about you made a wager, you have to stand by it, and your mom needs to grow the fuck up.
Yeah.
And seriously, you're going to get into a college wrestling program with butt-length hair?
Yeah.
No.
No, you're not.
Have it in a big Amish bun, pull it up underneath a little hat.
Sister wives.
Right.
Yes.
Your mom.
I have I changed my I changed my little
But
last
she
story
checked out early.
because I
couldn't hold us.
Go ahead, Marty. I'm sorry.
it was a little known fact that of an article that I found, and I wanted to be able to look more into it before reading it.
Now's your time.
Thank you. Sure did.
Sure did.
We had spoken on here about Leela Alcorn. Do you remember talking about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nope, never heard of her.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you being serious?
2-2.
Yeah,
I got
Okay.
nothing.
She was the
transgender girl who killed herself, jumped in front of a semi.
Yep. Thanks, Allstate.
Yeah. That would be Nationwide.
Thanks, Nationwide.
Either way, they're on the side of something.
You're on my side, but I got a dead kid, so nobody wins.
I'm pretty sure
There is
I read
a,
that article. I feel bad.
And I'm just I'm intrigued to see if anyone knows who this is.
You just told us.
No.
Okay.
Still dead.
Stephen Ira. Anyone familiar
Two
with
dead-
Stephen
not two-
Ira?
Is that the douchebag that said something about the students? He's like a college. No,
He's a good guy.
I'm guessing.
Okay.
He's a good guy.
All right.
But I did
Captain
not,
America.
I knew Stephen Eady.
Nope.
Different
I'm
people.
intrigued. I have a feeling Aaron's going to jump out with this one. But anyway, Stephen Ira is a writer and a trans advocate. What he had said was, give this young woman the peace in death that she deserves and work for what she wanted. Work for the things she needed while she lived. He tweeted later, adding, if you can't handle having a trans kid, don't have kids. In response to Alcorn's suicide note, in which she had said her parents had taken her to Christian therapists to reinforce that being transgender was wrong. He says, if your therapist tries to convince you you're not transition, that's conversion therapy. I thought I turned that off for you. Anyway, I did. He also said that he had experienced conversion therapy himself, using the hashtag real life trans adult, so that other people could share in this. He's the eldest of 4 siblings. He was assigned female at birth and named Kathleen by his parents. He started transitioning at age 14 and said that he had stated that in a video in 2012. Okay. Parents, we don't know who the parents are. I really thought Aaron was going to jump in. I'm sorry.
Maybe she's
Annette
asleep.
Benning. No, not my Aaron.
Oh yes. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm a little slow.
Okay. No. And Warren Beatty.
This I'll just bring it around to Oscar time. This may have cost her Oscar.
Yes,
because I
thought you had talked about this.
We did talk about this. She decided not to go out and do the glad handing for the Academy Awards because
she knew this would come up.
And Kathleen was in the process of transitioning. And they decided to like shut down the family, Benning Beatty, and help her through this transition. And they're very good about it. They're
which is interesting because
beautiful
that's what
parenting.
Surprised me with this because it comes off differently. Because
everybody has their own journey. Everyone has their own journey, and Annette Bening has talked about post apocalypse. Annette Bening has come out and said, like Cher did about her bad reaction to Chaz coming out at first.
Right.
First as gay, then as that she was like, I should be the spokesperson for good gayness.
That's right.
And
here, look what happened.
And Cher had the wrong reaction at first and took time because it's everyone's own journey. And Annette Bening, and that's why they shut down. Annette Bening was like, they didn't do it.
I've got to tell you, this is off. So I don't know why.
No, it sounds like it's something else is going on too.
Okay, thank you.
But I just want to say that they said that because their initial response was so poor that they shut down and they went media silent.
Right.
And she was busy campaigning for an Oscar for The Kids Are All Right, playing a lesbian. Yep. And they went because they handled it poorly.
Sure.
And they needed time. They needed their own time, and they had to do it privately. And Warren Beatty still doesn't speak about it.
Okay, that's what they were saying. That nothing has been. They've never.
Because Warren Beatty thinks it's no one's business. Because he's always felt
maybe
like
not against it.
Yeah, but he doesn't think that you should talk about it because their child is not famous.
Right, and also I can understand that. Why do we need to necessarily discuss this? He can discuss it if he chooses.
And they're not as photographed because now allegedly,
because this is Stephen, I believe. Stephen.
Is that what?
Yeah, Stephen Ira.
That's what he changed his name
exactly,
to.
Stephen Ira.
Because now we're finding out that Brad and Angelina's child is doing it, but they're so often photographed that transitioning is happening in public and happening at a very young age. So we don't know like what the ramifications will be. This was a family that kept very private, and you very rarely saw any pictures of them as a family. They weren't photographed very often.
Right.
So I don't think we're talking about the same thing, but in the Arquette family.
Alexis.
Yes.
Alex became Alexis, and because that family so
out there.
They're interesting.
They're so granola that they handled that. As far as what they put out publicly, they handled it beautifully from day one. But they're of a different ilk, I think. I think
that's also becoming more and more of a thing. I actually spent
but Alexis did it years ago. Alexis
which
was one of the very
fantastic
first,
that they were kind of ahead of the game
and used his acting career to pay to become Alexis. He was in many and only acted to pay for the transition and has not done much since, and not because of that, but because maybe the acting gene isn't part of his makeup, where the rest of the family are. I mean, for generations, they're like third generation. They're like Barrymores.
Yeah. What were you going to say with them?
I'm sorry.
No. I was just going to say about parents handling it better as time goes on. I was at the school this morning and for an unofficially boring meeting, and then I hang around to gossip afterwards because that's why you go,
right?
Is to talk shit about other people.
Yeah.
And I actually just randomly ended up standing up front for like an hour talking to some parents that I know, and one of them's very funny because she's kind of obsessed with my whole like growing up and coming out story, and we were talking to somebody else, and then as the conversations just kind of wandered into what if your kid was gay and how do you handle it, and then it wandered into like transgendered individuals, and it was very, very cool to just be standing there just chatting with people and realizing that they're on the same page or want to be on the same page for their kids, right?
And that's there's a
it's
thing.
Huge.
There's
you have a
because it's not scary. You know what I mean? They're like, okay, like gay we can totally handle. Like transgender might be weird, but we're gonna go for it.
Right. And there's a thing about mourning your birth plan. Like let's say you had this plan in place that you were gonna give birth in a bathtub and be completely natural, and things went wrong.
Don't talk about Whitney Houston's plan.
But you ended up we're gonna combine a little of what's the lady in the bathtub's name? Hairspray.
Bobby Christina?
No.
Ricky Lake.
Ricky Lake.
Oh, yeah,
Ricky
yeah.
Lake's the bathtub lady. But
Hairspray.
Oh, sorry. My
Hairspray.
bad.
So let's say you have a plan for how you're going to give birth, and then things. I need to hit say it or play it. Do it.
Sure did. Sure
God.
did. Sure did.
Sure did.
Sometimes when Al talks, I get
Alma, check your battery.
Say it or play it. That's the name of this show. If you call this show anything but say it or play
I
it,
think that needs to be like the new
Oh, no.
drinking.
I'm
Can
ready.
that
Be a game?
Say it or play
I
it.
think
Oh
I've
my
already
God.
chose the name. It's leotards and toll roads.
say it or play it. No, say it or play it. Parenthetically, leotards and toll roads.
I love
But
it.
you have to mourn mourn your plan, and they have this whole
Yes.
thing when you're doing childbirth that you didn't get the childbirth you wanted, but you have to have a chance to like mourn the dream of how you wanted
That's
it to
right.
go, but you have a healthy child. So, and I think there's that thing that we're not accounting for in raising a child, where you have to allow people to like, they wanted this perfect.
They had a little girl and they imagined.
Yes.
They imagined dress up time
Right,
and
Dad
this
and
and
the
this
first prom
and
and the
tea
first
parties and all that
dance
stuff.
and yeah.
So you
Walking her
have
down
to
the
allow
aisle.
Right.
you have to allow parents, and you can still walk them down the aisle, but you have to let
it's
them
different.
mourn
Right.
their
Picture.
big picture of what's in their head. And I always there's a wonderful book by Laura Z. Dobson. Somebody Google me and find out if I'm right. It's called Consenting Adults.
Okay.
And it was written in the 80s. It was made into a wonderful TV movie with Marlo Thomas. But the premise of the book was about a son coming out to her parents, and I think Martin Sheen was the father and Marlo Thomas was the mother. And she has to, like, there's a brother-in-law that's writing about Stonewall, and the family is Jewish, and they're talking about assimilation. And it's just about, like, we want to be, like, really strict Jewish because we believe in the religion, but we also want to be really good Americans, so we want to assimilate there, and we want this dream to be for this, but we want our son to be this.
Right.
And it was really a story of about coming out, and I read it in the 80s as I was coming out to my family. Like, as you're coming out to your family, you have to give them time to adjust their dreams and hopes and desires, because you took all this time to come up to the day to
get there.
tell them.
Right.
Now you need to back off and let them have the time to adjust the information. And I think that's what this is saying, is like, not all families handle everything like, yay, you're gay, let's go have a party.
Right.
Some people, there's going to be a mourning period for the dream that you had or the wishes that you had. You just have to make different wishes, but you still have hopefully a healthy child.
Sure.
And I think that's just no. Trial of the Golds is another one. Trial of the Golds is a beautiful movie. That's about finding out the gene for homosexuality.
Oh.
And that is directed by Christopher Reeves after the accident, and he was nominated for a lot of different awards for a beautifully done. Twilight of the Golds is a beautiful thing about finding out in advance that your dreams are going to be different.
Sure.
Not your dreams, but that the fulfillment of your dreams will be different than the way you dream them. And it's, be careful what you wish for.
And I absolutely love the idea of
interesting topic. How do we get on here?
That you have to change that thought process and go through any kind of the 5 stages of death and dying is really what a lot of Elizabeth Kubler-Rossi kind of stuff.
It's the 5 stages of grief. You
Of
have to
grief,
go right, and you
exactly.
have to and everything
bargaining. I'll do anything.
and you have to go through them. And some people get to phase 5 fast. Some people need a little while, and they're going to get hung up on a phase. But you have to decide this is where we're going to get lost a little bit. And you have to, as the person that's coming out and the person that's being coming out to, everyone has their own time frame, and you have to give the information and then walk away and be non-judgmental, because they have a journey to go through on their own.
Stephen Ira says, I'm attractive to people who are not trans, adding that he has a beautiful boyfriend, and letting people know you will and can be loved and adored.
Yeah.
And I think it's a big thing that we can say that. You can be loved and adored and whatnot, but to come from someone who has gone through that journey and to be able to let other folks that are looking at going through the journey, doing whatever it might be, to hear that and feel that, I think is a huge deal.
Yeah.
we all have gone through our own journey, but I think that's a really big deal. So.
And there's a movie called In the Gloaming that I'm mixing up too, so I'll have to find out. But Consenting Adults is on here. The book is by Laura Z. Dobson. It's one of the greatest books I've ever read.
I put Consenting Adults and I couldn't find it, but Consenting Adult.
Consenting Adult. If you get a chance to read that all these years later, it is a beautiful piece of work. Cool. Beautiful.
Thank you.
And I have to pee, so goodbye.
Right. Sorry. Thank you.
I may never come back.
Okay, bye.
Our final headline is the wacky Florida story, because every fucking week something stupid comes up from Florida. Well, police in Florida say a 24-year-old man is accused of aggravated domestic battery after trying to circumcise his 20-month-old nephew. The Ocala Star-Banner reports the child's father went to the grocery store Saturday evening and left his two brothers-in-law in his apartment with his sleeping son. According to police, the child was bleeding when the father returned. Larry Floyd told the father he circumcised the boy while he was gone. Floyd then left the apartment, and the father took his child to the hospital. The boy's condition was not available at press time. Floyd remained in jail Monday morning, and it was not known whether or not he had an attorney. But I'm sure that at some point somebody's going to come back to this kid and be like,
well played.
I'm not even sure what's happened the last 2 hours.
I'm not either, but
a lot of shit.
It's good stuff.
A lot of shit,
I'm stunned.
Kat. All right, kids.
I just want to dance with somebody.
That may be the next one.
I want to feel the heat with somebody.
Don't you, though? I'm saving all my love for you. I'm your baby tonight, Kat. That's
Be
all I
my
want you to
baby
know.
tonight,
There you go. We're coming back. We're coming back with Al Perkins in a little segment we call Al Talks More or Entertainment. We're not sure. We'll figure it out in a minute. And then Kat Carlson's taking up the cause for Katie and herself tonight. So we'll shit all over her segment in a little bit. Stay with us.
More to shit on.
It's the show that gives you more every Tuesday. Q Talk America on whatever the fuck this is. Just stay here.
I had to
stay
refresh
here.
mine too, Drew.
You've been listening to The Show on Q Talk America. This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. This show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's The Show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Once again, good evening, everybody. At the beginning of hour 3, as we do on a Tuesday night, it's The Show on Q Talk America, alongside Kat Carlson, Marnie Ryer, and Al Perkins.
That one's me.
I'm Clayton McKee, sitting here wondering, what in the hell is going on? As Aretha Franklin would say, what in the hell is going on?
Where's that sound clip?
We'll get it to in a minute. But before we do that...
Yeah, why has that not been a part of the show with Clayton McKee or whatever your name is? Because I want that I want that to be the drinking
As
phrase.
you said before the break, the show with whatever the fuck this is.
That's exactly what it is, whatever the fuck it is.
Now, I know you often want to change the name.
That's true.
That would be the first one I agreed with.
Which one?
The show with whatever the fuck this is.
I second the motion.
Dr. Ben Carlson, that's genius.
I second the motion. You know,
That's really fun.
all in favor?
The show is, what'd you call it?
The show with whatever the fuck this is. Somebody should write it down because he's a little red-faced. I think he's drunk.
No, we can't use that because it can't show up on feeds like that. It has to show up.
Could be F star hashtag. You can fake the F bomb now. Please, they do it in the office.
It's not as a
or Parks and Recreation, but it's funny. That's good times.
All right.
Whatever the F.
We'll spell it
You can even say
F-U-Q.
whatever the F this is. All right, we're wasting a lot of time.
We are. Can we move on? Let's do this. It's called Entertainment with Al Perkins.
Al talks a lot about stuff no one cares about.
Hey, what's wrong with you? Hello?
Woo! I forgot.
If you have puppies, they understood what I just said. Shut the fuck up.
We usually take our
All right,
headphones off.
there's
for that part.
award shows this weekend. Diane Sawyer lands a big interview. And there's a really interesting documentary that I think one of you or two of you might actually enjoy. Sure did. How long is this
What?
song? I thought Katie was
38 seconds the whole
It's
time.
the exact same thing
I know.
every week.
I was worried about what disease Katie might have today.
33 seconds.
What's wrong with Katie? So I was prepared for that segment to go on a little bit longer.
Okay. Well, there's that.
All right. So it turns out that what's the guy that was on the Wheaties box? Bruce Jenner
A decathlete.
wants to be a lady, and it's not just a rumor anymore. I guess now
Is it official?
His
Yeah.
mom
confirmed
mom
it.
is alive, which I found terrific.
Shocking.
I know. I decided to be nice to a dead person's relative. Is he dead? No, he wants to be a woman. So, anyways,
Same song.
same song. Where's that queued up? You were just following in all the cues. But anyways, so Diane Sawyer is going to land his first interview, and it's going to be, how drunk is she going to be? And someone said they'll look like twins.
She'll be
But it's kind of
exhausted.
funny. So I'm really curious because this is a very interesting story of a.
That wasn't a downer.
That's how Diane Sawyer's interview is gonna start.
Yes.
That's just a good clip. That's just good times. So, but it's interesting that Diane Sawyer gets the interview, and I guess after all these photos and wandering around in cardigans and ladies' clothes, it's time to. And it's interesting because now the family has something to actually literally talk about on the dumbest show that's ever been on television. I've never
Except
seen.
for what I'm loving is that Kim Kardashian's like,
Whatever.
shut up.
Yeah, and everyone is saying
Which I
this is-
love that.
This is his journey, but your family does
Yeah.
everything
You're right.
in public. Like you
And the
can't
cameras
ask for
have been following
right.
him.
You can't ask for privacy
Right.
when
You know
your
what the
family
show's called?
takes a shit.
Bruce Jenner or whatever the hell that is.
Whatever the hell that is. And it's now here's one of those things where you have to in your own
What did
mind.
Kris Jenner say to him, do you think?
Oh, she's not happy about it. Oh, I'm being literal because I watched the news. My God.
All right.
She
Okay.
wasn't singing.
All right.
No,
though.
I thought
Clayton
you
is
sang
broadcasting
something else.
from the space shuttle.
She
on
might
some
also
kind of
say-
10 to 20 second delay. Carl.
Carl.
Or Carol. So
Sure did.
Channing.
so this is
Well, really, it's going to be this.
it's
Looks like it's back to the perfume counter.
because this perfume doesn't work anymore. So it's curious to find out how this family that really does nothing interesting in public handles something of actual merit.
Yeah.
Because all they've ever done is, well, I don't know, they're just useless human beings.
Sex tapes and
So-
20-second
This
marriages.
is their chance to actually have some
82
relevance.
days.
Right.
Right.
I mean, I'm sorry, the girl with the
give
fat
some
ass got
credit.
laid. Who gives a rat's ass?
Probably
And you
a
must
lot.
remember that before the show started, I didn't know who she was until like 2 days before the show started. I've only been conscious of the Kim Kardashian tribe less than 3 years.
Yeah.
And my brain has been the poorer for it.
Goodness gracious.
Okay, so Magic Mike poster came out, and the lesbians, just read something else right now. Oh my God. Channing Tatum, that motherfucker.
You got it right.
Oh, I do
Okay.
now.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Stalker Channing Tatum. That's how you get there.
Yeah, how you get
That
there.
is how you get
We
there.
have a mnemonic device for this
I
fucker.
like it. I like
Okay, not only
We can talk about
3
him now,
good
'cause
movies
he's
this year.
pretty.
And
Three
he's funnier than shit.
good
He's
movies
awesome.
this year. He
No.
put out
That
Jump
one.
Street 22,
Right.
which made me kick my feet and laugh in the theater.
Yeah.
It was embarrassing how much I enjoyed that.
Uh-huh.
He's in the Lego Movie, which won another award this weekend. They've won so many awards now that how is this not nominated for an Academy Award? This is one of my favorite movies of the year. I'm so disappointed that the Oscars just got this wrong.
Someone will sing about it there.
Completely fucked up, right? And since we got to the Lego Movie inadvertently, it turns out there's some dispute as to who wrote this song because the guy that's getting credit and is getting the nomination, the Grammys are out this weekend, and it's one of the songs nominated for Best Song from like the video medium or whatever the fuck they call it. But Lonely Island, which is the guys from SNL that wrote Dick in a Box and the Mother's Day song and all that shit.
The Chronicles of what? The
Chronicles of what? Yeah, Lazy Sundays it's called. So anyways, Adam Sandberg should be nominated for an Oscar, and they're kind of fighting back and forth as to whether they're writers or producers of the song. So they're up for a Grammy, but the Oscar nomination is still being debated because Everything Is Awesome is written by the Dick in the Box guys, which is why that song,
Which is why it's so amazing.
it's so perfectly written and fits that plot so well that you're like, how in the and then you're like, all right, that makes sense. Like, you've got genius comedy writers. Can't say enough about that. But anyways, Magic Mike, and then his third movie is Foxcatcher, where everyone is good at it, but really, 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 the performance to watch is the person that gets the character development and everything is Channing Tatum.
Oh, damn it, Stockard.
Nope.
Stockard Channing Tatum.
Yep. Tatum Channing.
No, Channing Tatum.
Fuck it. He's not gonna. All right, so he's not gonna sleep with me this week.
Sure did.
We're gonna save him up for Valentine's
I put
Day.
a link to the poster in the chat room
But
if you want to see.
Magic Mike's poster is out, and seriously, that is in the Spank Bank, girls. That's already there. Like, that's it. That's the whole fucking package.
Ruin the poster for me.
Shut up. Shut up. Where is Ray J when you need him?
I'm not gonna lie. In my head, I kind of look like that.
Yeah, sure.
In my head,
yeah.
that's what I look like.
You get me drunk enough, we'll do it. Just looking for a Hummer, girls. All right, so
awkward.
Not sure where we went there.
What?
I can't say either.
I mean,
okay, so
cheers.
before I have to switch another page and stop spitting on my own iPad that recently showed an ugly picture of me that turns out was live. There is a really fun.
Well done.
Finally. The space shuttle has landed. There's a documentary out called Red Army. And like I said, there's a couple people that might be interested. But this is from the side of the Miracle on Ice players, the Russian team, and all their training and what they went through in facing the biggest defeat in Russian sports history. Okay. And all the things that they trained for. And it's called Red Army. It's out. And it gives their reaction to losing the game and their reaction to always being portrayed as the villains of the Cold War. When the Cold War really never had much of a face outside of like Rocky and Bullwinkle cartoons. That they became the face.
Or Rocky IV.
Yeah, all right. That they became the face of the enemy. Sure. And they were they're kind of upset about how they were portrayed to the world and how they've always been seen as like the thing that must be defeated when they were just kids. They were also in their 20s.
Fair. Yeah.
No. And some of them have tempers. It doesn't paint them in any kind of good picture. It just gives you a story of, and here's the other side. And it's a very interesting documentary. It's coming to a theater near you in different venues soon. It's called Red Army, and it just looks really interesting.
Yeah.
And everything I've heard about it sounds
good. And what's
good.
that going to be on? Is it's coming out as a movie?
Just Google it. Just Google it and find out how it gets. I'm about a week behind on my Entertainment Weekly, so I'm not quite sure where all you can find it. But okay, so now we'll just go here. So your 2 award shows this weekend are the Grammy Awards are coming on. Now remember, you never watch the Grammy Awards to see who wins a Grammy because they only give out like 4 awards. They're not allowed to lip sync. And they know they have one of the biggest built-in audiences of the year for music. So this is where you get your Ricky Martin like performance that sets the world on fire. Sure. Your Bruno Mars, your the girls from that did Moulin Rouge live. Like you get these performances that can't be are not allowed to lip sync because the Milli Vanilli. Yeah. So what you get here is somebody ends up selling 1 billion albums and becoming a big star or just cementing their career off this. You do not care about the awards, and no one should. There's a zillion of them. What we do want, though, is for Hedwig and the Angry Inch to get Best Cast Album in the Grammys because it goes to producer, writers, and the predominant vocalists, which will make Neil Patrick Harris 3/4 of his way to being an EGOT. Okay. Because he will have it, and this is his best chance of winning a Grammy in the EGOT thing. And he's young; he can get an Oscar still. But so album of the year, you have Beyonce, Sam Smith, Beck, Ed Sheeran, who I've just been finding, and I really like him, and Pharrell Williams for Girl. Everyone is talking about the Beyonce thing, the surprise release, the fact that she kept it under wraps. She just did it under pressure. What you're really watching for is Madonna, who was just recently like raped internet-wise and everything stolen from her, and they found the guy in like Iceland or some strange country, the person that stole everything and got her stuff out. No,
does everybody know what you're talking about?
Yes, Madonna's latest album was hacked and downloaded illegally, and Madonna was very upset because she had a plan to roll it out, but because they had released so many tracks and someone stole from her, that she's been on this big thing of like, she's been a part of the whole internet hacking Sony story before they knew it was more political than hers was, and she had to release most of her album immediately, and she couldn't get videos ready in time, and she's very upset and thinking that we need more internet security. But now one of her big things is she's going to go on the Grammys, which she hasn't been on in years, and she does not do well live singing.
Okay.
But you can't lip sync. But she did do beautifully and won me over with Nothing Really Matters a decade, 15 years ago. She did Nothing Really Matters from the Frozen album and knocked it out of the park.
Okay.
When it comes to the Grammys, you just up your game. You're not watching for awards. No one cares. Okay. You're watching for these live performances because everyone knows you have a chance to sell 1 billion records in an era where no one buys records. Best New Artist, Sam Smith, Iggy Azalea, Bastille, who we all secretly want because they're so good, and Brandy Clark. If you don't have the Bastille album, get it. It's so much fun.
So good. Somebody needs to buy Sam Smith a puppy, though, because I can't anymore. Just buy him a puppy. He's so sad.
He's sad, but he's working with everything, and things are going his way.
It's beautiful and it's wonderful, but buy him a puppy.
Yeah.
Well, they have to because he broke up with his boyfriend.
And then somebody,
he's so sad.
Howard Stern called him fat on the air, and he did. Because he has a chance of not getting any of the awards people are ready for because it turns out his song was very similar to an old Tom Petty song. And just about everybody that remembers that Tom Petty song, and it was pretty big, knows that. And so even Tom Petty has said it was inadvertent.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just a common thing, and it's something that you probably have in your head and don't even realize you remember anymore. And when I heard the Tom Petty song, I'm like, I didn't even know I knew that song, and I knew every
time
word.
I hear something from Stevie Wonder, I'm like, oh my God, I fucking love it's Stevie Wonder.
I saw that
right.
It was, by the way, it was Adele Dazeem, Edith. Adele Dazeem was
it's what
John Travolta called.
Said.
Yeah.
Adele.
So there's nothing here. There's nothing really exciting to look for except for we want Neil Patrick Harris very strongly to win to get his Grammy
because we love him.
So that's it. But now for those of us who are going to watch something live and catch the Grammys on
I missed that
on delay, the BAFTA Awards, which is probably one.
Is the same guy hosting it?
Yeah, of course.
He's funny.
His name's Steven. Google it. Help me out.
I'll look it up. But he's funny.
Your host for the BAFTA Awards every year is one of the greatest wits since Noel Coward. He is just funny. His name is Steven someone or other, and his name escapes me.
Stephen Fry. Funny, and it's a delightful, quick-paced SAG Awards but with a host. Mm-hmm. They're just there to get you in, get you out of there, but you're just gonna. It's an acerbic wit.
He rips everybody.
But he does it in a delightful way that makes you want to shake his hand and thank him afterwards. Mm-hmm. So the things to look for here, because a lot of British people are part of the Academy. Your best film nominees: Grand Budapest, Theory of Everything, Birdman, Imitation Game, Boyhood. Look for your Birdman, Boyhood thing. American Sniper is still remains the thing that no one can count on. Okay. American Sniper could win everything, and none of these awards will make sense. Okay. Because Clint Eastwood's last movie, $1 Million Baby, came in at the last minute when everyone had another winner picked and won every award when no one was looking, and they weren't part of the original wrap-up. The year of Titanic, that movie came out late, and it was supposed to be a flop. And LA Confidential was supposed to win everything, and Titanic won every award for every single thing it was nominated for. So just watch. That could be
Is there a date? Did you give a date for the BAFTAs?
Sunday. They're the same night as the Grammys,
Oh, okay. It's this coming Sunday.
So you have important choices to make.
Yeah. So, and if I'm not mistaken, BBC America is how you get to that. Isn't that how we did it?
BBC America. And it is a fun show to watch live. And it's short and to the point. They don't mince words. They don't waste time.
Out. Yeah.
Right. And you're just watching for highlights. It doesn't matter who wins because most of the awards for the Grammys are given out at 2 in the afternoon. Mm-hmm. They only give out 7 or 8 awards. The 69 other ones, and I'm under. I think it's more like 80 awards are given award pre-ceremony, and they just flash at the bottom of the screen. The Grammy Awards are not about the awards; they're about those live performances. The thing to watch for is supporting actor and actress. Does Patricia Arquette and J.K. Simmons keep their streak going? Let me get down to. There's one more important award here, but there's not much. Nope, that was pretty much it. Oh, the one thing that's funny is because of release dates, 20 Feet from Stardom shows up in the BAFTAs this year instead of last year. So will Citizen 4, which is about Edward Snowden... What am I missing?
Edith.
Yeah.
Have you done a movie reviewer segment?
No.
Really?
Pardon my typing. I'm stoned.
I do speak English.
I read everything else later. Okay, so there was the award category that I thought existed doesn't exist. So just watch, and everybody that's into this shit that's only me is talking about the Michael Keaton Eddie Redmayne thing. Mm-hmm. Eddie Redmayne is probably going to win this award because he's British, but if Michael Keaton wins, then the Oscar race is over and Michael Keaton gets his Oscar. So very strange. And I'm hoping in your shit on this segment...
I'm taking requests.
I I have requests. Because she covered the found down thing. I want vaccines, gay funeral in Alabama, and human rights chairman covered.
Son of a bitch.
What about the gay
Seriously,
funeral in
vaccines.
Arkansas?
Why don't
I said gay funeral in Alabama.
Or Arkansas.
Why don't we go there now?
Does it fucking matter? All right, so gay funeral in Arkansas. Do you want it?
No. And regardless, however that comes out, everybody's gonna still love him.
We'll
Sure
still
did.
love you.
Which opening would you like, my dear Cat Carlson?
I would actually go ahead with your gay funeral because I don't have it. So
Okay, so there
Carry on.
is a married couple that were married in another state, and
They were married in New Mexico.
In New Mexico, they lived in Alabama.
They've been
He
together
had
10 years.
Sjorgen's disease. I never pronounced that correctly, but
yeah.
I'm using all the right letters.
An
And was
autoimmune-
having some difficulty, and it involves like your tear ducts and your saliva, and you just don't produce the moisture that you want. So
Right.
I think you guys know about lube. So
It's an autoimmune.
right. Sjorgen's disease. And he committed suicide, and they wanted to have their funeral in the church. Somebody tell me they have the church's name.
Oh well, it was in Mountain Home, Arkansas. I know that much.
Are you talking about Arkansas or are you
yeah.
talking about Alabama?
No, it's
It's really in Arkansas.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
hang on a second. I'll get it because
Something Church of
Aaron,
Christ.
hang on, calm down.
okay.
Read on something else. I'll get
I've
it.
got the article right
because
here.
Aaron sent me the message.
All right. So somebody read from it because I don't have it queued up as fast as you all do.
Oh wait, no, he
The
put
Clark Ridge Church of
That's
Christ.
it. That's it.
Yeah. And they denied it. They accepted it. They wouldn't. The fire department denied their request to have the wake lunch. We call it the wake party in Niagara Falls.
How can the fire department do that? A city?
Because I know in Niagara Falls there's the fire hall, the Frontier Fire Hall, where you go and you have things. And now the fire hall is now trying to back off of it and saying that the family canceled on them. They didn't cancel on the family. So there is some kickback from this fire department saying, no, this is not us. But the church who said, the church's claim on their Facebook page is that while we didn't say we wouldn't help them, we do have to admit that when they addressed the family, they gave them an envelope full of hate mail including about Bible
verses and
with one condolence card. And the two people that stuffed it with hate mail admitted freely and gladly that they did it. And it was just
that's horrible.
a travesty.
Fuck off.
And it was, and if you go to, and you can go to they have a Facebook page if you say the church's name again, and you can
Clark
Google them.
Ridge Church of Christ.
Yeah, in Arkansas. Is that the state
It
you're
is.
saying? Oh my God. And I have to say, usually the comments devolve pretty quickly, but this one, they really stay on point about.
So it's not about Obama.
No, and the church is very clear, like, yep. We got this one wrong, and it's because they're kind of denying the fact of whether or not the funeral is allowed, but they have to acknowledge that these two Christian women handed hate mail to someone grieving a loved one, and they handed it not just to a husband, to his mother, and they just got themselves in the Westboro Baptist Church Hall of Fame of
Did somebody say, Edith is saying AIDS and autoimmune disease are not the same. I realize that. Did somebody say that incorrectly?
I don't think
No,
so.
no. It's
Or are
not.
you just saying that so
No.
other people realize it? Because
Oh, okay.
I was like, I
that's
don't
a
think we
good
confuse those two.
Maybe Edith is just thinking that.
I mean, I realize that the acronym could look AID and autoimmune disease look the
right,
same.
and it is autoimmune, but it
But
does.
maybe
Yeah.
that's what they're thinking due to ignorance.
No, and my other
Maybe.
thought was because Christians have a very strict. Well, Catholics do.
Yeah.
Other Christian denominations do not have the same view of the suicide part of it. But this is still. It's just not the time for hate mail, and this church is really. I have to. It's like tip of the hat, wag of the finger kind of thing. That they really are fessing up to that they have two really hateful members of their congregation.
Right.
And they really wish they could get away from those two women. So it's I think the link is on our Facebook page if you want to read more about
for the
it.
story. Actually, no, it was on my page, but I will put the link to the story on the chat
And if
room
you go to, Facebook now has the top 10 trending stories. This story has been trending, and if you look, you'll see that there are the other side of you where the firehouse has something to say about it, and the church kind of admits that, yep, those hateful people are part of our congregation, and we can't do anything about it.
Yeah, they can. They can throw them the fuck out of the church.
Can. Exactly.
And again, the churches are not. They just don't. They're trying to say like we wouldn't have thrown him out. We can't throw them out. Like they don't.
Oh, that's a fucking cop out.
It is a cop out.
agree.
But if you read it, it's and then the from the House of Representatives, the chair of the committees, everything about the chair of the committees has been coming out in the last 3 weeks. And the House chairs, a lot of women have lost leadership positions in the House and in the Senate because with the Republicans taking over, it was white men. And even though there are a record number of women in the Congress now, they are no longer in any leadership positions. There's only 2 women. And the guy in charge of human rights, he is the head of the subcommittee on human rights.
I did see this.
From New Jersey. His name is Chris Smith. Please send him hate mail. I will help you if you need me to.
Send a self-addressed.
Yes, he is in charge of the African continent on human rights. He's in charge of the Global AIDS Initiative on human rights. He said, because he took money from the American Research Foundation, the anti-gay group. I can't think of which one, but it's on my Facebook page. He took $10,000 from them in campaign money. He said that gay rights are not human rights. So, ergo, if I may use that phrase, sure did.
What kind of tart is he?
Gays are not human, according to him.
He's a devil tart.
He is our U.S. congressman in charge of the subcommittee on human rights who doesn't think that gays are human. So this is the level. So I just want to thank all my Republican friends who tell me that they vote because of taxes and small government.
But you're voting for this shit.
Thank you, my God.
This is who you get. And he's been in office since 1980. He didn't come up with the Tea Party. Wow. He is part of the ab scam American Hustle thing. He got his job in the 80s, and then through redistricting, they have taken the large New Jersey city that should be part, and I think it's Trenton, but it might be Newark, that should be part of his constituency. Yeah. They redistricted and made him all suburbs so that to keep his seat safe. So he's been in Congress for 1980, so 35 years, almost 36 years. This guy's a turd of the highest caliber. Yeah. Are you on vaccines on yours?
Yeah, I'll put vaccines on mine.
Yeah.
So that's it.
I'm ready.
So, hate mail. Chris Smith, U.S. Representative from New Jersey, in a very blue state. He's a very, 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 very dangerously dumb human. But guess what? He's in charge of human rights.
That's a good plan.
Kind of like the guy that's in charge of the subcommittee on science doesn't believe in science.
Doesn't believe in science. That's awesome.
May I just very quickly? Do you see this face right here? Okay. Now,
I think I dated her.
Oh, I know I did.
I did. I think I hit her too.
Her name is my name too. Anyway,
your mom is
so
my
if
mom.
I go to Clark Ridge Church of Christ, it says that I can suggest a photo for Clark Ridge.
Yeah.
I like where you're going.
Places are public, so everyone can view this photo. Do I upload it?
Yep.
Well, yeah. It's
immediately.
It is up to Facebook to approve it.
That's
Absolutely.
True.
But
okay.
I'm not saying you're going to be successful with it. But
I'm gonna try.
on that note, we'll move on to this segment and see how this goes.
I like it.
We're going to call this Cat Carlson Shit Show tonight. In sports, Lance Armstrong continues to be a tool. In science, we'll talk about vaccinations. Are they a thing? In literature, who the fuck is Harper Lee and where's she been?
Oh.
And in entertainment, Taylor Swift has gone copyright crazy.
Oh, well done.
I think my favorite headline is vaccinations and are they a thing?
I like it. Edith in New Jersey.
New
you
Jersey.
said,
Oh
right?
my God, Edith, you're in New Jersey?
No,
No.
she's asking where Chris Smith is from.
Because she said earlier that she didn't want to tell anybody where she lived.
And Chris Smith is a tough fucking one to Google. That's a very generic name.
There's a lot.
Okay.
All right.
All right, continue
So
on,
we'll
Cat Carlson.
start. Once a cheater, always a cheater. The news on Tuesday that Lance Armstrong tried to pin the blame on his girlfriend for hitting 2 cars after a night of partying should come as no surprise to anyone. He built a career and a lucrative cult personality out of lies, seeing the truth as something only suckers or the weak would champion. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. As his fame and fortune grew, so did the stakes. The few who dared question or contradict his version of reality soon felt his wrath, and he was so determined to protect himself and the stories he'd spun that he didn't care who he destroyed to do it.
Douche.
For real. So apparently, Lance Armstrong was involved in a hit and run and was like, nope, she did it. She did it.
Drove blocks away and made her sit in the driver's seat and let her take the ticket.
Yeah.
And they only found...
Oh, my God.
I don't even know how they found it out because she didn't give him up. This girl's such a tool. She went with the charges and was about to accept a DUI, a leaving the scene of an accident, and a hit and run charge.
Wow.
I mean, how big is his dick? For the love of God.
Not the, and
It
really
has to
only
be.
one ball, I think. Good.
Oh, just last week,
Not
Armstrong
sure.
admitted that for as brutal as his fall from grace has been these last few years, he'd do it all over again.
Oh, yeah.
Sure would.
Sure did.
And because he can't help himself, Armstrong once again tried to excuse the lies and deception, saying he was only trying to keep pace with the rest.
Now, I always made...
Or do I put that just quickly?
In your pocket? I don't know what's...
No,
what, I
on
don't know
the,
what do
for
we-
the photo instead of the devil.
Oh, I don't know. Put a ton of them. Like, suggest a million of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Suggest a lot of things. They got to take some.
Oh, I didn't realize
So,
that. Okay. All right.
my thing with him, and
Sorry.
like I said, like I'm always the one that wants the snarky. But if somebody was sitting at BS West where I used to work, smoking a cigarette, drinking a cocktail, and going into the bathroom to do some fun with the Live Strong bracelet on, I'm sorry, you just opened yourself up to my full powers of mockery.
Right.
Sure.
Because you're not living strong. You're a girl tard. No, I'm not supposed to make fun of girls.
Yeah.
You're a leotard.
Oh,
See?
why do we hate Leo?
You're a paleotard.
I'm a paleotard. Oh, those fuckers too.
No, just pale in,
not
pale
those
in,
paleo
pale in.
assholes.
Oh, I'm ready for paleotard though.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
bringing it up
fair.
for later.
That's fair.
In their defense.
But didn't you always just think there was like I'm sorry,
With the
Tom
Live Strong
Brady, you're a
bracelets?
douche.
Yeah.
There's something gonna come
There's
out.
something douchey about
Except for
you.
he looks like Neil Patrick Harris, and now I have a crush on Tom Brady again.
That's tough. That's tough. Yeah. In their defense, they say, this is the girlfriend. She says, we've had our family name smeared over every paper in the world the last couple of years. And honestly, we've got teenagers and just wanted to protect the family. Yeah. So that's why he throws the girlfriend on the bus, because he doesn't want to be in the fucking paper again.
Douche.
Yeah.
Teach him to tell the truth.
I sure did.
Sure.
I love it. Don
Sure
says,
did.
I hope his dick is enough to wrap around my neck. I want his dick enough to be long enough to wrap around his neck and hang him with a motherfucker. That one bald Nazi.
Right.
God damn.
I almost said
I went a little uglier than I meant to because it's a wake and bake, girls. I just got up and started drinking.
It's all right. That's what we do. So we'll move right along into vaccinations, and I'm sure everybody has a whole bunch to say about it. And I didn't pull up any articles, and in fact, it was by request just this evening. My segment now taking requests.
Again, hang on, I will put the link in the page for you because.
Please do.
Put the, actually gonna,
Well,
I'm gonna hand it to you. I'm gonna put the link in the chat room.
I have long had opinions on the anti-vaccination movement.
Tards.
And it's called science.
Yeah.
It's called, preventable diseases that have been all but eradicated. All but wiped out. Like, when was the last time you were like, oh, Bobby can't play, he's got the smallpox?
Right.
Gosh.
He got a blanket from an English person.
Why does she have a limp?
Yeah.
Did you see the lepers that moved in down the street? Come on.
Yeah, so, and the fact that it's just resurfacing now because there are measles outbreaks all over the place, and it's just, I think it's just uneducated fear and
And we have to put blame
on Jenny McCarthy.
We have to
that
put,
bitch, look.
No, we have to put blame in the proper places. Matt Lauer is very adamant about this today.
Okay.
This started as a leftist hipster, like,
Don't tell us what to
craft
do.
beer shit.
Fucking hipsters.
About like clean living, and
Is it in
they read
Portland?
something.
I bet they drink craft beer.
And it very much started on the left side of the spectrum.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
It just,
and it sounds like a really hippie thing to do. Be like, oh, we're
And
not going to
it
vaccinate our
The
kids. We're
government's
just
not going
going
to tell me what to do with my body.
and then it migrated over because Republicans don't want anyone telling someone what to do with their body unless you're a woman with a uterus.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And then only that area.
Yeah.
Totally
and then only
ours to
old
govern.
white guys can govern that.
Right.
You know what I mean? You have no choices, which is the irony. So this thing started, we had not a huge outbreak, but from a disease that's been eradicated, it's now in 14 states, over 100 patients. This complete, and I just brace yourself, I'm coming in, fucking retard, and I'm using the word retard in its most vile sense.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Dr. Jack Walton. He's a doctor of osteopathic medicine.
Mm-hmm.
I will.
I saw this.
There are pleasant people that practice this profession. I know many of them, and they're nice people. This is not a slam
one of
against
them.
doctor of osteopathic medicine. He's a cardiologist. He was the leotard that was on CNN last week that was saying that children have a right to have measles, and you can't deny someone their right. and that he
That's
wouldn't
some
feel
bullshit.
he would not feel bad at all if his sick child killed someone else.
I feel like he
That's
has the right to be
insane.
stabbed in the face.
Yeah,
you know what? But
and,
now,
and
but
Channel
now,
12 covered him. And I'm sorry,
cards.
but we have got to stop this as a culture. And I'm going to get all up on my high horse here. You cannot have the tard on one side and the science guy on the other side and present this to Middle
And present
America
them as equal.
like it's a 50-50 article,
Right.
50-50 presentation. And then CNN really and Channel 12 did it here, and I sent hate mail to Channel 12 every day of this week saying many doctors say no, we're going to get into semantics here, cunts.
Right.
Most doctors say, if not all doctors
all but
say,
this asshole right here.
you have one tard on
just
this
trying to
side of
get
the
it.
screen, and it's been about climate science. It's been about everything.
Well,
but-
and that's John Oliver did that.
yeah, like this. It's not fair. And
It's
brilliantly-
this one dipshit against these 99
and here's
really
the
smart,
rest
educated
of the
people.
world in peer-reviewed journals, and the only person that said it had any link to any kind of mental health problems was discredited. He lost his licensing. It was completely disfounded. But after a Playboy Playmate of the Month, who is quite possibly the most offensive human on this or any planet, came out and said, and now, of course, she's backing off because she knows she's just pure evil.
Right.
She's red
Jenny
hot evil.
McCunty.
So Jenny McCunty is just walking around saying, I never said that. Have you never seen The Daily Show, you dumb cunt? Have
real.
you do you not know that we can pull up you on the
Right.
What's the old guy with the suspenders?
Larry
Larry
King.
King.
She was
Oh,
on Larry
Talking
King
about how
every other
vaccinations gave
fucking
your kids
day.
autism.
And the kid's not autistic. Oh my
Right.
God. The kid's not autistic. He was misdiagnosed, and she said there's a miracle cure. She's a cunt. This woman's going down in flames. And
Yeah.
if not in this lifetime, we're going to wait for karma
And so
to get
now
her.
it's churned through the machine. Like it started out as a hippie movement, which, okay, totally understand that. Then it became like this, celebrity, we're going to scare everybody with fucking autism thing.
Yeah.
You know, and now it's a political thing. I was listening to the radio on the way in, and they're debating, or not, they're comparing and contrasting the different ways that President Obama and KTAR's favorite Chris Christie have, like, changed their tunes about it.
And he said, my kids are vaccinated, I'm vaccinated, but I
Right.
want you to have a
But
choice.
parents should have a choice.
No, you motherfucker! Stop running for president
Right.
with right-wing retards. I can't. We're on the retard bandwagon with vaccines now, because
Sure.
these are truly, truly offensive, stupid people that deserve whatever word we can throw
I
at
know,
them.
but they're associated
I
with the
know.
folks I work with, and
I know,
so
I know,
that's
I know,
the
I know I
issue.
should find a better
and
word, but-
I know that because you're just. But the issue is that so many people come forward, like for instance, all of the people that I work with, and new parents that are learning that they either are going to have or have a child with any kind of a disability. Are like, I can't use any red dye number this, and I can't use this, and I can't use that.
Sure.
Don't get them vaccinated. Don't do this.
There's the panic parenting, and
fear.
isn't it
But
ironic?
it
I like
is
panic parenting, that's a good word.
It is,
No.
but it is fed to them because where these parents are having to go are to all the therapists and to all these specific places, and those are the people.
And because we don't have
that are
answers, they
feeding
hear.
them.
Isn't it ironic that we have all of the information in the world in our
bet.
pocket?
You bet.
Have all of the information in our world in our pocket, and we listen to some dipshit on TV.
And
still.
we
no,
get
no,
dis-
no,
like,
no.
we
I'm not
can't-
even saying, please. I'm not even saying Jenny McCarthy.
No,
I'm not
but-
saying,
but
they
it's
can
any of
go.
these
They're
dipshits on
looking.
TV.
They're looking
Sure.
all of this stuff up.
Sure.
They're looking anything and everything up because they want their child to not have autism.
And all you
or
find is the
anything.
misinformation first. You find
Correct.
all of the misinformation
because that's
first.
up at the top, and they click on it, and they're like,
And
"Oh
it's,
my god, my
and
answer!"
it's the scariest.
Yes.
It grabs your attention.
Yes.
What are you going to stop when you're flicking
I
channels? What are
agree.
you going to stop on? Are you going to stop on
Scare news.
buildings
Yes.
like falling down to the ground? Or are you going to stop on the squirrel in the grass? Like,
We're on
unless
the-
you're Ernie,
like-
you're
I-
going to
we're-
stop on the buildings
I know,
falling
you're right.
down. It's
I like panic
And we're-
parenting. I like
we're
that
on
phrase.
the exact same page. I mean,
Yeah.
we're truly all on the exact same page. It's just that they're
Stay
to
off
have-
the internet. Stay
to
off
have
the internet. Stay
someone-
off the internet. Ask your doctor, your pediatrician, and if you're going to
But
some
some
kind of
of them are the one. That's what I'm telling you.
very few of them are.
All I'm telling you is that that's where the parents are coming to me saying, "This is what."
But they're lying
Well,
to you.
and it's
because
so
you can find
hard-
very few pediatricians that don't believe in vaccination.
Oh,
you
for sure.
find
I'm
what they're saying is
startled by it.
all my doctors. No, they went to all their doctors and said one thing, and then they saw this cardiologist.
Who said the one?
Now, if you're a
kind of-
cardiologist, and cardiologists will tell you, you have patients that are going through transplants. They're going through these different things. They are no longer have their immune system. If you have a transplant, you have to take drugs that stop your immune system from rejecting your organ. You are no longer part of the population that is immune. So you need the herd to be immune to save you. This is people with HIV. This is people with transplants, people under 12 months. This is any kind of like childhood cancers, chemo patients, anyone immunocompromised who has to rely on the herd. That's who's at risk.
Yep.
We could all probably, I'm not sure of your age, the three of us could probably go get a titer done and find out what our booster levels are, because we only got one measles shot and they found out like 20 years later
I had an MMR 10 years
helpful.
ago. I took a class at ASU like 10 years ago, and they made me go get another MMR.
ASU checks your titers. To go to ASU, you have to bring your immunization, and you have to bring them a titer saying that you are up to date, because they didn't want this. And that's why you brought it to them, because we're not going to be the place that brings measles to the world.
Which is how we got around being like a not communist country, because we really just said, in order to bring your kid to school, we got to have this for all the rest of the kids. And now you can waiver out of that.
Well, and Aaron is one of the folks that
sure
has
did.
to.
There you go, drink.
Right? Yeah. And Aaron is one of the people that has to be in essence in the bubble because of the
And we all in our community, we have so many people with immune compromises for different reasons.
Right.
That you have to be wary of, like,
terrifying.
Now you can't go to the movie theater. You can't go to Disneyland. And now California is almost off limits because it started in Marin County. It's working its way across the bridge to San Francisco, where the immune compromised people are a little bit of a higher number. It's so dangerous and it's so incredibly stupid. Give us a sound cue.
Well, I was going to give you a sound cue, but of something completely different, because
anything, we'll take anything.
Oh, good, because we're going to go with this one.
Get it.
We have breaking news.
Oh, I'm afraid of what it is.
Houston in a tub.
Is it the plane crash?
Breaking news: starting Monday in Alabama, gay marriages will start.
Hey!
Now, is that where Huckabee was?
Winner.
Huckabee was
Isn't
the
Huckabee
governor.
Arkansas?
Don't make Jews eat bacon.
I don't know. Oh, that's.
I love that story.
So we are not your source for your vaccination information. The internet is not your source.
No,
talk to your doctor. And if your doctor believes in a paleo diet for your children, find another doctor.
Yeah, run like hell.
I thought I was doing the sound to break up this conversation so we could move on.
All right,
we're moving on.
Oh,
I'm pulling up the article.
But we need that disclaimer out there that, like, this is an
we're not
interesting conversation.
doctors, and we believe passionately about it. But
the disclaimer comes at the beginning of the show. We drink a lot.
Yeah, but it has to be said again.
Misinformation.
If you have children, enjoy a drink with us, have a laugh.
Yeah,
but get some real fucking information in your fucking heads.
So in this segment.
Sure did.
I keep insulting our listeners.
It's become TRL shit show. That's right. Total Request Live in a shit show format.
Woo!
Alabama's top judicial official, Roy Moore, issued a memo on Tuesday telling the state's probate judges that they're not required to issue marriage licenses to same-sex couples. Is this not the right article? Hang on. I thought you said that was allowed. I got NBC News saying they don't have to issue.
22 minutes ago, this just was posted on Facebook.
Well, here, send me. Oh, on Facebook?
Barbara Seville posted it, and Barbara
did?
watches everything. So it's from BlueNationReview.com.
We're talking Alabama, right?
Yes.
All right, stand by.
Not Arkansas.
1 hour ago, NBC News said top judge, state doesn't have to allow gay marriage. Blah, blah, blah. I don't see it. Find it for me. Find it, will you?
Oh, okay. Continue on with whatever else.
Who the fuck is Harper Lee?
Oh, I love
Anybody
Harper
know?
Lee.
Anybody know?
Yep.
Yeah, To Kill a Mockingbird.
To Kill a Mockingbird.
Stand up. That's your daddy.
Scout. Boo. Hey, boo.
Harper Lee published To Kill a Mockingbird in 1960. The novel was a wild success. It won the Pulitzer Prize, was a bestseller, and was adapted into an acclaimed Oscar-winning film in
1960 or 61.
62.
Nice.
As the years ticked by and To Kill a Mockingbird became an enduring classic, Lee withdrew from public life. She never published a second book. That will change in July when Go Set a Watchman, a sequel under wraps for more than 50 years, will be published by Lee. It's a coup for the publisher. To Kill a Mockingbird has sold more than 40 million copies. Where has Lee been all this time? It wasn't hard to find her. She'd moved back to her hometown of Monroeville, Alabama, where she was born Nell Harper Lee in 1926. She grew up there near her childhood friend, Truman Capote. Her elder sister, Alice, who died in November at 103 years old, practiced law in the town as their father had. According to reports, Lee, now 88 years old, resides in an assisted living facility. Lee, wrangling over control of To Kill a Mockingbird, has revealed that she has suffered from ill health, including vision problems and hearing loss. And according to one friend, she has paralysis on her left side and failing short-term memory. And she had suffered a stroke in 2007. Nevertheless, in 2010, she was at a local park feeding the ducks. A British reporter found her there wearing thick black glasses, pants, and a t-shirt, and he had been instructed not to ask her about the book. Dun, dun, dun. So instead, he presented her with a box of chocolates. Sure did.
Sure did. Say it or play it.
Thank you so much, Lee said. You are most kind. We're just going to feed the ducks, but call me the next time you're here, and we have a lot of history here. You will enjoy it. Lee declined to participate in a documentary about To Kill a Mockingbird released in 2010 on the book's 50th anniversary, and Oprah Winfrey tried to talk to her about it. Mm-hmm. I knew 20 minutes into the conversation that I would never be able to convince her to do an interview, and it's not my style to push, said Oprah, which since
really?
when?
Oprah? Yeah. Huh?
And now... Did you get her last name? Because I think we're talking about a different Oprah.
Yeah, right?
I'm sorry, Oprah Thomas.
Oh, there it is. All right, maybe not her style to
not
push.
Not a pushy woman.
There you go.
Not a pushy lady.
But the other one.
Bitch can't stop
it's not my style to push, Winfrey said. She said to me, I already said everything I need to say. You know the character Boo Radley. Well, if you know Boo, then you understand why I wouldn't be doing an interview, because I really am Boo. I knew that was the end of it, and I just enjoyed the lunch, said Oprah. Lee's made few rare public appearances. She went to the White House in 2007 and received a Presidential Medal of Freedom. In 2005, she appeared at the launch...
From the guy who couldn't read.
I mean...
I know.
Whatever.
The irony. He gave an award to Barbra Streisand that year, too, so pigs can fly.
Right. 2005, she accepted the Los Angeles Public Library's Literary Award, and in 2001, she was awarded the Alabama Medal of Freedom. She gave a very short speech. But coming this summer... is the sequel at long last. So she's been just hiding away from public life and has finally decided, for whatever her reasons, probably because she's going to die.
Or needs money.
Right.
To pay
to
for
publish
her
the book. So those of you that have been waiting...
Look at the death watch, Al. God damn.
No, she is fair game.
So those of you that have been waiting 50 years for the sequel will finally...
Not 50.
Find
and
out.
as we're in 30 Days of Oscar... And you already missed your chance to catch The Lion in the Winter. And I don't understand why you didn't catch it, because it's seriously, you just want to take notes on that movie. It's so fucking
Is it not
good.
Available streaming anywhere?
It is, but
okay.
It's a tradition with me, because that's how I found it was in 30 Days of Oscar about 15, 20 years ago.
Got it.
That I just watch it that's my thing every year is during the 30 Days of Oscar, because they run it commercial free.
Nice.
In all its acidity and nastiness. But if you want a more kind of upsetting but very uplifting movie... And it's uplifting because of a young girl's love of her father. The story doesn't really end all that well. But
I mean...
Bambi dies.
Damn it!
Bambi dies a couple times in this movie.
I haven't seen it! What happened to Old Yeller?
But it's...
Oh.
I've never seen it, honest to God.
But I'm pretty sure...
Are you familiar with Glue?
No.
No, that was Black Beauty.
Thank you. I'm like, wait a minute.
Same song. I'm just telling you.
I haven't seen it, but I'm pretty sure before it's all over...
Say it or play it.
Did not somehow did not see that coming.
I have to tell you though, at the end of To Kill a Mockingbird, when they tell Boo, stand up, that's your daddy, that would be if she stood up and did that, that'd be so appropriate. That's
awesome.
If I'm not mistaken,
that's awesome.
I think he was voted like the best good guy or best hero in a movie by like 3 or 4 different sources. That Boo's what's Boo's father's name? What the fuck is his father's name?
I don't remember.
Mr.
Her
Boo.
father's name, Mr. Boo. Fair point.
I don't know.
Sure did.
Was it Sully? No, different.
No. It is probably one of the most powerful movie moments of all those.
Yeah.
And you know how whenever in the Academy Awards when I'm always drinking my champagne and crying because they're doing a movie clip,
that is me in the arm.
That is one of the go-to Clydesdales with the puppy while they play 500 Miles. If you want to get tears out of someone, you just show the clip of him saying, "Stand up, that's your daddy." And you I get my nipples are hard to see. I get goosebumps just from that line. It's just
say that it's what stand up is.
Stand up, that's your daddy. Finch.
Lord
His name
almighty.
is Atticus
There it
Finch.
is.
And
Yes, it is.
if you watch,
Oh, wait a minute. You meant forget it.
if you
love
watch
Atticus.
if you
I
watch
almost
the
named
middle,
Huck that.
that's the kid that plays Brick. His name is really Atticus, and he's named after that. And he does interviews because he has that bone disease where you can't touch him because everything will break.
Right, brittle bone.
Brittle bone disease. And he said that.
What's the name? Oh, Brittlebone.
Brittle
There you
bone,
go.
right?
Yeah.
His bones will break. He said that when he finally got around to reading the book and seeing the movie, he was like so proud of his name, like
Sure.
because he's who you stand. Oh, you
Well,
Right.
just
and I
find
know
that
not to-
scene.
And Huck was either going to be Huck or Atticus because I absolutely love.
Yeah, it's
Kill
a
Mockingbird.
beautiful, beautiful movie. I mean, it's not a beautiful movie because it's tough.
It's
I think it's
not. It's a really
amazing.
tough story.
It's not an easy. It's not
It's
an.
an
I'm making this sound like it's a Disney
amazing
movie.
story.
It's a very tough watch, but it's a great movie, and it's on this month in 30 Days of Oscar, and they save it peanut brittle bone. That's if I was going to eat him. He's got brittle bone chains. I don't want to touch him. It's made out of peanut butter.
Tatum,
Yeah,
peanut brittle bone.
Tasty
Welcome to the
Brittlebone.
show, Edith. Mr. McKee, do we have a
love
gay
it.
marriage update?
Oh, we do. If you would like me to read this.
I would love for you
Oh,
to
you can have a
because
segment too.
Well, I don't have a segment.
I like to share.
There was so apparently we all remember the story that was talked about a few weeks ago where what was she, a congresswoman, senator? She's the one who decided. She's like, look, if you don't quit fucking around with all these gay
I'm
marriage
gonna
things,
out you.
I'm gonna
For
out
sure,
all of your
uh-huh.
little
Yeah, that
outings
was
and all this stuff.
Alabama.
Well. More from our coverage of hell freezing over in the South. The 11th Circuit Court of Appeals has denied a stay that was requested on a ruling that struck down Alabama's gay marriage ban, meaning marriages may begin on Monday morning. Woo! This is big news in the heart of Dixie, where some of the nation's most rampant homophobia thrives. In fact, it's crazy to me, or as the story reads, it's crazy that the same-sex marriage will come to Alabama before the Supreme Court has a chance to make it the law of the land. This is also the state, by the way, where lesbian lawmaker has threatened to expose her anti-gay colleagues' extramarital affairs. So anyway, congratulations to the Cotton State. It's a wonderful step forward in the march of equality. Can you fucking believe that Bama?
No, and the
Then
fact
they
that
still-
Arizona got it before Alabama.
You know what? We said- I
gives
say we
me a
said
whole
that
lot
about
of pride,
Arizona.
but
Right.
Yeah.
But that they still call themselves the Cotton State.
I have to tell you that getting married, the
Mary, how I
thought
love
of getting
you.
married in Alabama, though, kind of scares me.
Well, no, because there's,
I'm not gonna
sure.
lie.
No,
I
no,
don't know,
no,
there's
because
that
you're
at the
terrifying story about the guys in Texas that had the babies. They had the twin babies. They are the biological fathers with a surrogate mother, and they can't adopt each other's children because they don't recognize gay marriage in Texas yet. While it's legal, they won't right? Isn't Texas on the list, or is Texas still waiting?
I don't.
Texas is not.
I think they're
for
still
gay
waiting.
marriage?
I'm pretty sure they're still waiting.
Yeah,
They're
I
still
think they're
waiting.
still waiting.
They won't recognize an outside marriage, and they're getting all this flack. And it's you're just like, they're the biological fathers. If this was a story about a wanton woman,
Yes.
who got pregnant and wanted to give the kid up for adoption, all the lawmakers in the state would be like, get a paternity test, make sure it's okay with the father. The father has rights. But now they found out that they jacked off into a test tube. Oh no, they're just pariahs. It's
Too much.
As we're supposedly fighting wars against religious zealots around the world, when the religious zealots they're in your nest. What's Hillary Clinton's famous quote? You can't put snakes in your backyard and expect them to only bite your neighbors.
Well, that
Oh,
sounds
I
good.
love that.
I
love
like
it.
that.
Oh, and her one. The world is the earth is round, the sky is blue, vaccinations work.
Yeah.
Hillary Clinton, and let's talk about that for a second. Hillary Clinton, because there is no one, and Governor Pataki, we'll call him governor because they called Romney the governor. Former New York State Governor Pataki is thinking of throwing his hat in the ring to run for president. I forgot, as I was reading the article, he's Republican.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that
But
wild?
what a great chance
Yeah.
he has, like Christie, to be from a blue state with and he's one of those people that has really moderate stances, even though he's anti-choice, because we don't use the word pro-life because it's bullshit.
Because that's some bullshit now.
Yeah.
But he's an anti-choice Republican, but he's very moderate because he was the governor of New York for like 12 years. That this is a very legitimate choice to come up, and if not president, vice president, just crazy talk. But they said Hillary may not throw her hat in the ring until July.
Wow.
No.
They're saying, because they were saying it should be any day now, and she's like, nope, I'm not playing.
Oh, she got plenty of time.
And the only person that can really fuck her up at this point is Biden.
Right.
And Biden is not. he's not taking the bait. Biden is your hope. And they said April, but now they're saying she may save her campaign money because she went broke on the last one and had to take a loan out to pay back her campaign loans. She may wait till July and let them just eat each other alive.
Sure, why
and
not?
then show up late in the game and almost be unprimaried, which is not fair. I mean, from a democratic process, although we all know we're going to vote for Hillary this time because a couple of us forgot to vote for her the last time. Not me. Bitch is the new black. Hashtag still on that campaign.
I'm going to tell you, I didn't forget to vote for her.
No.
I just chose.
Right. No, right.
And it really was very close for me.
I'm not a primary voter. I don't.
No, it was very close. But I'm just saying that this time, everyone said whoever ran for the Democratic seat in 2008 was going to win. It didn't matter.
Right.
It could have been a hand puppet.
Yeah.
Elmo could have won. You know what I mean? As long as you didn't have an R at the end of your name, 2008 was pretty much yours in the bag.
Right.
We're also not calling Obama a hand puppet.
And now Edith is saying,
although
Biden,
I
Hillary,
would buy
Hillary,
the
Biden.
Obama hand puppet.
I totally
I'm
would
gonna
buy it.
Google
as
that.
well.
honestly-
see if they have them, and I'll buy them. We can get the show with Clayton Mickey or whatever the fuck this is.
But the show with whatever the fuck this is. I think the Hillary Biden ticket is strong, but I think Biden moves on to something big like Secretary of State or ambassador to some country that has no strife whatsoever.
I think that Biden could drag pieces of Hillary down. I think that would be difficult.
And I think everyone acknowledges that Biden has been in the Democratic Party and one of the good guys for like almost 50 years.
Right.
He strikes me more as somebody that people like, and he's not abrasive. He doesn't come in and you're like automatically on edge.
He gets the lifetime ambassadorship to Luxembourg. You know what I mean?
Right. I feel like when Carrie walks into a room,
them, but we're not sure
like,
where they am.
Right. I do. That's how when I see Carrie, I feel that way.
Same song.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, we're automatically guards up.
Kind of.
But Biden walks in, you think it's your uncle. Like, hey.
Right. He's the guy
and he acts that way. Like he just walks into bars and starts flirting with waitresses.
Well,
like he totally
and
acts like your dirty old
you
uncle.
Kind of go. Oh.
Well, did you see
him?
He's
gap worthy for sure. They love.
Well, did you see him when they were swearing in the new Senate? They were swearing in.
Yeah, because he swears them in.
And he was doing all of the photo shoots afterwards, where he was like all the families are coming through. Oh, he was just
he knows them all.
jovial
He's
and
like,
happy,
hey, how's it going? Oh, look,
kids
you're so
and
big
talking to people.
Yeah.
And he just likes to say, like, don't count me out because I don't want to say that I don't want to be president, but at the same time, the head guy's still alive, and I get to be me,
right?
And I get to come out for gay marriage first, and I get to be the hero of like 90% of the stories. I honestly think this guy's looking at it. He's going to be the U.S. ambassador to Canada. Like, I think he's just going to get the cushy end of life.
That sounds like
job.
a really good job.
Yeah.
Well, and he's the guy that like you trust, uncle. We kind of want to have a beer with, kind of this and that
Like,
at the same time. But do you trust him to run your country?
They didn't even trust to send him to Je suis Charlie. You know what I mean? Like, oh no,
no,
not let it go.
Don't send Uncle Joe.
Don't send Uncle Joe to France.
Don't send Uncle Joe.
That's gonna because you just know that Obama was like, listen, Grandpa. You're a lot of fun, and I can't wait to have that shot of whiskey. But you are not going to France.
No, you're
Right,
not.
but
we're sending you to you're going to Luxembourg again because nobody knows where that is.
But no matter what, like, so when he steps down, regardless of whether he runs for vice president or not, or he just steps aside, everybody's gonna have a warm feeling about him, right?
Say it or play it.
Yes. And yes.
That's funny.
Good Lord.
You're welcome.
There's a boxing Obama puppet.
There is. I just saw it at $7.50 on eBay right now.
We've got to get that.
All right, the Frankenstein wine did me well.
The
today.
Frankenstein wine worked for you. All right. Well, something to truly shit on.
Okay. Well, now we're doing something.
This just in. Not content with having the best-selling U.S. album of 2014, Taylor Swift has leapt into action to trademark certain key phrases from the album to prevent them from appearing on unauthorized merchandise.
Smart.
That's right.
Okay. Like?
Party like it's 1989.
Nope, that's not going to work.
This sick beat.
Nobody says that.
'Cause we never go out of style.
That nobody says that.
Could show you incredible things, which is really...
I've said that, actually.
Right.
Not recently.
That
and then he followed it with trademark pending.
Parenthetically, we're all optimistic.
I'd like a Hummer, trademark pending.
And nice to meet you, where you been?
Nope, no one says that.
No.
You don't. Taylor, settle down.
Yeah, calm the fuck down.
She's just basically picking and choosing through her own song lyrics and going, trademark. Because she doesn't want to see her shit on a
Well,
t-shirt.
I think more hook lines I would pick. Like, I'll write, what is that? I'll write your name, or whatever that, my blank, I'll write your name, whatever the fuck that is.
Sign your name.
I've got a blank space,
No,
baby.
it's not Terrence Trent D'Arby.
Oh, I confused her with someone talented
Yeah.
again.
Oh, yes.
There it
I've
is.
got a blank space, baby, and
Yeah.
I'll write your name.
No, see, I think you...
That sounds like what's it called? Bejazzling.
Vajazzling?
Jesus, pick up...
That sounds like
I don't know. I
vajazzling.
can't fit vagina into a lot of conversation.
I was going to say you can't fit it in
That's
your
so
mouth.
strange, because you sure seem to.
I try.
Optimistic.
Fitting vagina in conversation.
What's wrong
since
with
2012.
Katie?
Whoa, no. What's wrong with Katie?
Oh.
This week...
We just
No, that's the tagline. This week...
Oh, Marnie's lost.
Marnie's lost.
Marnie's lost. She's smelling toast in the hallway.
It's a big
She's-
house.
It's all over.
The lesson here is, if you want your Taylor Swift tagline t-shirt, buy it now, because they won't be available once the trademarks go into effect.
Wait a minute, but if she
I am
owns...
never going to say any of that shit.
But if she owns the trademark, she can produce the shit out of it and sell it.
She certainly could, but apparently there are
Sure
companies
did.
already selling this sick beat t-shirts and stickers.
But she can shut them down and rape all that money out of them.
She sure could. So if
I
you
gotta
want to
make a
get
rape
the...
joke.
Well,
Yeah, way to go.
Because sometimes it's just funny.
parenthetically copyright
Sometimes
infringement.
terrible and tragic, but sometimes just funny.
We make fun of shit.
Or whatever the hell this is.
It's certainly not her first trademark. Unsurprisingly, her name, signature, and initials are copyrighted, but so are the titles of her albums, Fearless and Speak Now. Yeah.
And what's the one? Is it called Class of '89? What's the
Party Like It's 1989.
That's what. Jesus.
Yeah.
All right. No, there's
Sure,
that.
sure. So there it is. Taylor Swift is trying to, one bad lyric at a time, trademark the entire language. That's what's happening.
Well, that's almost.
You just wait.
That's Disney-esque. I mean, 'cause
very Disney-esque.
They tried, and Al will get on this bandwagon
And
as soon as he comes back in.
she's not a Disney product.
No, she's not.
not.
But that was one thing Disney tried. Every fucking thing in the world, Disney tried to put their shit on, their stink on, so that nobody could do anything, not realizing that timelines were going and all those were going to run out. So now they're scrambling to get their copyrights back and all that stuff. Anyway,
Yeah. The New Yorker had a very fun take on it, and they published other phrases requested by Taylor Swift to be trademarked, including "Welcome to New York."
Oh, shut the fuck up. I was pissed out about Party Like It's 1989 for the Prince leotards in the room.
Welcome to Newark.
Welcome to Newark.
Welcome to Nassau County.
Kiss me where it stinks. Let's go to Jersey.
what's in Vegas stays in Vegas.
This is fun.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'm having a good time. I like this song. I enjoy fun. Breakups stink.
Hold on.
Happy birthday. iPhone 7.
iPhone
it worked.
7.
Yeah.
Somebody go to the Facebook page for the Godforsaken Church. Marnie got on there.
Yes.
See if
Good
it worked,
work.
because if it did, awesome. And I wish I had put the devil photo.
Oh, I thought you did put the devil on.
No, because I was just trying it. I thought that I had to try all of them. Damn it.
All right. That's the end of that
Sorry,
shitty
Derek.
story.
Sorry.
What's it called? Crestview Church?
It says save.
Crest Ridge
Crest
Ridge
toothpaste, Crest.
Church, right?
Uh-huh.
God damn it, Marty, help me.
Clark Ridge.
Clark Ridge. God, I
There
knew there
it
was a
is.
ridge.
Sorry,
Clark.
There it is.
Beauty Clark.
It says it's pending approval. I just found a pending approval.
Clark Ridge Church of Christ in Gravette, Arkansas.
It's Arkansas.
Or is it Clark Ridge, Arkansas?
Gravette, Arkansas. 502 2nd Avenue Northeast.
Horse
Fuck 'em.
shit and turds and all,
Who
aren't
the
there?
fuck
Oh.
has actually been there?
That's classy.
Who's been there? Somebody you
It
know?
said 3 visits. I don't think anybody's been there. They've been driven past one. That was me
my
spitting.
God.
What? That was, I didn't get that. I'm glad you.
Just saying.
They
Just for
offered
the
you $10 to not spit. You should have taken it.
I didn't really spit.
Oh, it only shows pending on your page, not showing everybody else's.
okay.
Just so you know.
All right.
All right. Now we know.
Horse
it.
piss. All right.
Do we have any other segments?
Well, no, not really. Are we
Oh,
done?
all right.
Are we done shitting on your segment?
No, we're done shitting on that. That was a shitty story.
All right, well, there's that.
What was
Well,
the shit
know.
story?
then we're going to move on. We're going to move on with this segment, and we have it every week, and whether you like it or not, it may take up the last.
Well, I tried
29
to get the
minutes.
chat room to play along, but they're not doing it.
Well,
Edith, there's no thanks for a great show. It's not over. You got to give us your question.
we'll be right
For
there.
real.
Hang on.
And now, thoughtful vulgarity, where we, in the studio, try to make ourselves slightly less shallow, which is not hard to do. We will ask one question of the panel and have them try to answer it while fucked up drunk. Because you know at home how well it goes when an important question comes up 90 minutes after alcohol has been served. Politics, religion, why not? You're fucked up. What could possibly go wrong? Who could you offend? You've been warned. Good luck.
Say it and play it. Say it and play it. Not necessarily another hour, Ian, but you just hold on.
Hang on, kids. We got something.
Hang on to your hat.
Little some extra coming your way.
Something right here.
That's right.
Really, not a whole hour,
Not
Edith.
a whole hour.
No,
Well,
just
not
until
yet.
we get tired.
Settle down, Edith. Eventually the cookies run out.
We got 3 boxes.
Got it.
Our crack dealer has backup appointments.
Please?
Oh, I shut that. I did.
What's in the box? What's in the box? I'm gonna go all 7 on
Those
you.
are peanut butter, aren't they?
What's in the
Every
box?
time somebody says what's in the box, that's exactly what I think of.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
You want peanut butter?
Yes. Fuck. Do I want peanut butter?
Samoa.
I'm sorry. Alabama full of leotards.
It soon will be.
Married.
Married leotards.
All right. Stalker Channing Tatum O'Neal. All right. So, Marina.
Del Rey.
Del Rey. Oh my God, you're a drag queen.
Oh, that's so nice.
I
That
gotta tell you,
explains
Marina's
so
the
much.
one name I can't go for.
The drag queen thing explains so much. What would you put?
How about Marianne? All
I can
day,
go with that,
all
but just
night,
not
Yeah.
Marianne.
the other.
It took him 2 years to come up with the Professor and Marianne. You've been watching the show for 2 fucking years.
Almost 3.
And season 3, you figured out how to rhyme those 2 names? Motherfuckers. Always piss me off. Marina, what would you put in a time capsule to be open in 100 years? Like, what from right now do you think needs to be saved for...
Posterity?
Sure, her. I never met her, but sure, let her have it.
Apparently,
I
song
would
lyrics from
say-
Taylor Swift.
Right? If I had my druthers, I would say it would be the email I sent myself with you saying, I will not use the R word. I will try to stop using the R word. That's what I'd put in there.
Try doesn't mean accomplish.
I know,
Try
but that's
is-
in another 100
And
years.
if at first you don't succeed,
Try again.
again.
No.
wear a leotard.
we'll get to
at first-
try again next week.
If first you don't succeed, use retard again. That's basically what you do.
That's pretty much what I do.
All right. I'm gonna write it.
Look at dirty looks from this
These
one.
Triscuits are fantastic.
You are a pig from hell.
Yeah.
You are a boil on the butt
Of
of humanity.
It looks like 2 pigs wrestling under a blanket.
Hell, I'm in a good mood. I was nice to drum eating this morning.
These guys haven't left the house that lacquer on them. That's because you was brought up right.
I do not have the counter space.
I do not have the counter space.
All right.
I can't do snakes.
Continue on. Mariah. Or what was it?
Or however I self-identify. What would I... I would put a copy of the first license that I signed for gay marriage.
Oh.
Oh, I like that.
No. Of course, it would be for a divorce, but digress. And, but still, I would.
All right, semi-true story.
Well, I would do it
mostly
in
true.
California, and
All
then
right,
I would
it's
do
true.
it in Arizona. Truly.
I think I killed him. No,
Well,
hardly.
maybe. Also, just a caveat, quickly. I will be officiating the ceremony for Brenda and Robin.
Did you let them know about your track record?
35 years. Oh, no, they know.
Okay.
35 years.
Are they aware of your current stats?
They know better than anybody.
What's your score?
One's still going.
Oh, I only have one.
One.
Yeah.
So you're 1-0.
1 and done.
No?
No, you're 0-1 then.
0-1.
No, I'm 7-1.
Where'd you get the other 6 from?
Well, they may not all be gay.
They were
One
dogs
gay
and-
one, but
Oh, you married the straits too.
I feel like that's.
I'll marry him. I'm very open.
She'll marry anybody.
I'll marry any. God damn it. Sure did.
Sure did.
Yep.
I love
sure did.
Okay, Harrison says Edith makes it sound like she can't decide if she's a guest or a hostage.
Oh wait,
Edith, let me tell you how much we all have that same feeling.
Yeah, because of Patty Hearst. She's my Patty Hearst.
Edith, just get a beret and a gun and work your way through it.
Edith, at least you're not a dog. Then definitely hostage.
Try to be photographed in a bank in a black and white picture.
You people keep leaving that door open and this cat keeps coming in. God damn it.
Making me laugh.
I'm not in control of your pussy. I'm not a white guy in Congress.
I've been officiating for 4 years. Yeah, go ahead.
The end. Oh, look at that. Not a hostage, LOL. That's what Patty Hearst said, too. All right.
I would include Taylor Swift's much trademarked album 1989.
The oft referred to and frequently trademarked.
Oft referred.
Yeah, I think it would be all media, music, movie. I can't think of many off the top of my head. I'd have to put a little more thought than 2 seconds into it. But yeah, I think it would be a lot of performed arts.
Okay.
Because certainly stuff like that kind of goes out of fashion and fades away, and you forget about it.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Oh, I like
So when you open it 100 years from now, like think of 100 years ago, and like, oh, I have no idea what was popular in 1914, 15, whatever year it is, and math. Yeah. So I think movies and music would be a good thing.
That's a good
to
choice.
leap forward.
I agree with you. I was going to say something similar to that, but then in my head, I was thinking.
But then I stole it first.
No, yeah. It wasn't that. It was just the fact that so many of those things now, because of the electronic age, are preserved forever. So,
but maybe not. There could be an apocalypse.
Now you're just throwing shit into the goddamn time capsule. But I was going to say the media, but I think so much is documented these days with your Google and your internet and iTunes and everything's out there. But to that, I would add the electronics of the age and even go back and...
He wants the blender in there is what he's trying to say.
That's an excellent choice.
No, because I think you made a joke about, the iPhone 7. I think throwing the most modern thing that we have in, like a current iPhone or other smartphones or a laptop or whatever, so that they can see, so they really can see, because this world oftentimes throws away anything that's an antique. It's a bygone. Nobody remembers, like, kids don't remember what a cotton gin is, for God's sake. So
because they weren't slaves.
No.
There's that.
No, but I mean, or farmers. I mean, a lot of these kids. So in this,
I think the word you're looking for is plantation owner, but sure.
No, it's not. What I'm saying is,
slave owner.
Half of these kids today have no fucking idea how anything works. They don't know. They don't remember when you had to use a crank to start a car back in the day, or when horses were really what you used to plow fields.
That horsepower is not a phrase.
Right. It's a legitimate.
Well, it is
thing.
a phrase.
Well, no, it's a phrase, but it's a
But
legitimate
it used to be
thing.
based on the actual power of one horse versus
And
two
who
horses.
sat there and said, "Okay, that looks like 100 horses." 100?
Well, how many does it
100
take to
horses.
pull something? Well, it took 100 horses to pull. Well, okay, it's 100. But I would think so.
Still there'd be no
so
math.
so that they can appreciate whatever iPhone incarnation they have at the time, which is probably going to be all in a cloud, and you just have to think about stuff and it comes up. I don't know how it's going to work, but I just think
That'll be fun.
Something like that, so that somebody can further appreciate. Like they did the time capsule that was, what was it, in Boston?
Yeah.
I mean, they put
right. That's who brought it up.
Newspaper was in that, so they had that was the medium of the day. So if
I'd put a typewriter just to fuck with it. Can you imagine?
Let's take a second to imagine the possibility of the thought-driven cloud and the instant access to all of the porn in the world just in your own brain. Think about that a minute.
Huh.
Good night, everybody. We will see you next week.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
I agree with Aaron. And when all of that happens, people are going to lose their fucking minds. Huh? People with
Look, MySpace is still open. I logged in the other day and stole some photos back out.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, you can still log in with your old... Yeah. Incidentally, listeners will want to know, you can still log into your old MySpace using your old login credentials if you remember them. And your photos and all of your shit is still there.
Yeah, mine is.
Yeah, and their highest login day is Thursday. # Throwback Thursday.
Wow.
I'd swear somewhere along the way I went to that, and I think how some places will give you the option to sign in as Facebook, and it'll get you in there. I swear to God, MySpace let me at one point give me the option to sign in under Facebook.
Oh yeah, they held hands with their executioner.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
Have to.
I love the Tupperware answer.
I know it.
You want to put a 2-liter bottle in there and be like, "What We're the leotards that thought this was a good idea.
Oh, fuck with them and give them a Starbucks gift certificate because Starbucks will still be around. Again, it'll be a thing that you just have to think of coffee.
It'll be $27 for
Totes Bucks.
for a white lady. Yeah, Totes Bucks.
And then the sad part is, but make the gift certificate expire in 99 years. So when they open it, they're like,
Son of a bitch.
Dang goddamn late.
Damn it.
And the last one had yoga pants in it, and I put them on to get my vanilla latte.
That's a dick move.
I love Harrison.
My skinny vanilla latte, no whip.
I love
No
it.
whip.
About
That's
fashion.
important. No whip.
oh, you could put the fashion in the Tupperware. Oh, that'd be good. Burp and seal.
Burp and seal. I'm going to make that next week's drinking word.
We call those
Burp and seal.
stirrup pants.
I would put the high calf boot with the long
Really?
the mid thigh, the fat knee outfit in there, just to let them know that 100 years from now,
Culottes?
It's still not going to be cute.
it's still not gonna be cute.
Clogs.
Culottes, everything is fine until
They're
you
coming
bring
back.
your squeezy fat knee shoe choice. It's like when
What
you
if-
go out in a fabulous outfit and you wear black shoes, you just cut yourself off at the ankle. You look like you were born without feet.
No.
Take those black fucking shoes off.
True. But do not replace them with the
Because
knee-high
in
boots.
photographs, that's what it looks like.
I'm
Kind
sure.
of like what I looked like when I saw myself in the FaceTime
Well,
thing.
then what would I wear? Well, I don't know what I would wear if I didn't wear black shoes.
Well, you're not
Yeah.
a woman. You're not. You,
Yeah.
you have pants on that bring
This
your
just
legs all the
in
way down.
from Al. I'm not a woman. Thank you very much.
Well, there was debate up until the atomic clock said.
In the year of our Lord.
I heard a bell ring.
And an angel got its wings. Very nice.
Nope. Don't have enough nair for that. It's a man.
Oh, Lord.
It's a dude, Maury. That's a dude, Maury.
Dude.
Maury's butch. For the first wife club people. I would probably go with like the arts of my lifetime as well. I wouldn't limit it to. I don't think I would be able to limit myself to like 2015. I think they would need Angela Lansbury at the Kennedy Center
Okay.
doing Sweeney Todd. I think they need a little bit of the Pirates of Penzance with Linda Ronstadt. Like, I think they need to know that like before it all went shitty and technotronic and wrong. Although I would put I Feel Love in there too, which is the penultimate technotronic.
Get out of my dreams.
Yeah.
No.
Get into
And then I would
my
show
car.
them. I would
Little
tell
Billy
them.
Ocean.
I would tell them about the bad '80s.
There was
I'd
a
put
dark period in the 80s.
Yeah, I would tell people about Silly Ocean.
And maybe
But
the
no,
1963 Carnegie Hall concert.
I definitely would do like all the things, all the rare treats. Like I would give them Liza with the Z in case, like they had no idea. Like 100
just-
years later, you didn't know like what
I just
would go
said
on.
Judy at Carnegie in 63.
I would do Judy with Carnegie. Like
Thank-
I would just try to give them a glimpse of like, even though from a distance it looked like we all just watched shitty stuff and listened to Billy Ocean, there was some higher, like there was some entertainment that was really good. Because I think at 100 years old, we'll all watch Liza with the Z and be like, God damn, how did they pull that off? You know?
I think we need to put something in there that says if you are still watching, just a note.
Yeah.
If you, for Doug Wilkie, if nothing else, if you are still watching reality TV, stop it fucking now.
Yeah, we made fun of it 100 years ago.
Stop it.
We told you to stop.
Stop.
Well, the good news is
Done.
if it keeps going the way it is, it will have just started killing people.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It'll be the
Just-
Hunger
yeah.
Games. So we
Yeah.
should include a copy of the Hunger Games.
Ah, good
right.
call. Okay.
Or
enough.
our funny views of what dystopia looks like, because that's a very real thing. Of look
Sure.
how silly we thought dystopia was. Because I think when we watch, and that's just a big belch on the radio. Fantastic.
Sure did.
Next thing I'm gonna
did.
for those of you on the video, I'll pick my nose. I think when we watch these dystopian movies, which seem to be like the new, like it's just.
I had to stop. I
It's-
tried to read Maze Runner, and I was like, it's another fucking dystopian society with teenage characters. I
Yeah.
can't. I had to put it down. I was like, I
there
give up.
will be people over 18 in
cannot.
dystopia. Let
Yeah.
me just tell
I
you.
did Hunger Games. I did Divergent. I can't do anymore.
But I think District 9 will be the best example of what we're headed for. Like
Mm-hmm.
it needs to be dark and foreign, and you know what I mean? Like there has to be an element of like the aliens only come to America.
Right.
Well, there's still like 3, 7, 9 tenths of the world left. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot left. So yeah, I think all those things, like you just need a little bit of an idea of what our perspective was and its limit, because you don't want people to look like, and I'll bring this back to the Bible because of all the religious fucks this week that are being tards. You want some perspective on the people that wrote the Bible, and that they were just doing what the Greeks did in mythology. They were just trying to explain scary shit to scared white people.
Right.
Well, they weren't white because they were writing in the Middle East. So
they were kind of brown.
The white people, they hadn't found them yet, but they were going to explain the scary stuff to the white people later. But I honestly think these books of myths, if you just give them an idea of like, this is what our reality was, and this is what we were dealing with, this is how stupid we were. Like, don't take anything we said as truth, because we just did not know anything. So like, here's our what we thought was the end all of knowledge, and it turns out, Jesus Christ, were
not
we
at
far
all, right.
off. And you might want to know who he is, because you probably forgot about him because the world wised up. But
sure.
So I mean, I think that's just a perspective that if you went back and you found out about the people that wrote these books of like, is any of that like really?
So you're coming from a place of the person opening your time capsule would learn something from you.
Yeah, would learn something about like how unenlightened we truly were in an age where we thought we were as enlightened as we could be.
Sure.
Maybe
but that is every era. Like the 50s thought that, the 60s thought
right, but
that.
wouldn't it be helpful to find out like what people of generations that we think were like the smartest people alive, but
research Roman Empire.
Yeah.
Research British Empire.
Sure.
Yeah.
Too big
Research
to fail.
the United States of America.
Right. So I think it'd be helpful to like a little bit of perspective on the history you're learning, and let us provide it in real time. Cosby Show, never funny.
Cosby Show.
Funny. No, there was that one like lip sync thing on the stairs that was really funny, where the little one did.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
That one was funny.
I may have cracked a smile during that.
That one was good.
I'm not made of stone, people.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Cheers. Always funny.
Baby.
And maybe a couple episodes of Cheers so they can find out what it looked like when Diane and Carla got at it, because that's comedy.
Sure.
And then when it all wraps up and everything is said and done, they'll figure out some other things in life, and then they'll be like
a motherfucker.
A chia pet. All right, so wait,
Maybe
before
we
you
can
cut it off,
let's put
before you
Ray
cut it
J.
off,
Ray J can go in there.
well, if we don't cut it off yet, because we have Tupperware as an answer, fashion in Tupperware. I like that one. They will have dictionaries from this time. We have dictionaries from the 1200s, so they weren't really dictionaries as we know it. Right, to get the language, so you'll know what Katie June was talking about.
When she totes a briefs.
Teamsters used to be an occupation where you drove a team of horses. Job doesn't exist anymore except in a union. I love unions. Me too, Edith. God bless you. Local plants, recipes, things related to taste. We always talk about oral history.
You can talk about it more next week. Boys and
Chia
girls,
pet,
we are
no albums.
wrapping up hour 3 and 20 minutes on the show this week. We'll join you again next with more frivolity and fun. Katie will be back with us, but before we do all this, let's remind you, we will see you next Tuesday!
Now it's really over, Edith.
You've been listening to The Show on Q Talk America.